Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
What does Brandon say? And away we go on a Wednesday. Right? Is that what we got, Bobby?
Here we go on a Wednesday.
I'm Tito. I'm not Brandon Beam. He's quote-unquote fishing. Bobby Carter, am I right? Mark the Shark. Shark, 11,000 at the Clippers game?
10,888.
And it wasn't Diamond Dog Night.
It wasn't?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I guess I'm asking you.
Well, they don't play on Monday anymore.
Right, so maybe
I'm
it was.
Guessing it probably
had to
was.
Be. God, what a great crowd, though, out there. Gotta love that place. Anyway, Morning Juice, I'm Tito. And here for Brandon all week. We got a big show lined up for you today. Lots to talk about. Bobby, how are you today?
Lots to talk about. That's good.
You like that? How about that tease? What's that? Is that generic?
There'll be precisely 3 hours worth of content.
I think there will be. I realized today when I got in here and looked on the YouTube. By the way, check it out on the YouTube channel for The Fan, 97.1 The Fan. Check that out. We're on there. Bobby's going to monitor that, so talk to us if you want to. I realized today, Bobby, after I got here and looked on the YouTube feed, I'm dressed like a State Farm agent. Or maybe a Target guy. I've got the red and the khaki.
You look good. I mean, very fan appropriate, so good for you.
We're going to have John Gerber on later on to talk about the U.S. Open. That's starting up. I can't wait for that. I feel like my favorite major is always the next one. Like, I love the Masters, but like it's then PGA Championship. Wow, man, and we had a great one this year. And then it's like, oh, U.S. Open. How much fun is that? And then you got the British Open. Are you on calling it the British Open or the Open Championship?
I've always called it the British. I know people call it the Open. I don't know. I mean, I call it the British to delineate. The other three are all in America. I know it's the birthplace of golf, but if it was so great, why don't they have more?
Right.
So there you go. I'm going to call it, it can be the British to me.
Okay, let's call it the British Open. Let's make a command decision right now. British Open going forward. Make it very pretentious of them to do that. So anyway, lots to talk. We'll talk Browns. We'll talk Bengals. A lot of NFL news going on right now. And also NBA playoffs tonight continue. I don't want to talk about the Ohio Cup. Do they still call it the Ohio Cup then, Shark? Is that what they call it?
They do, yes.
And it's actually a trophy?
There is a trophy, and they also name an MVP of the Cup.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they did all that. We'll talk about that as well, though. But there's lots to talk about today. First of all, though, Bobby, I want to make sure you're ready before I hit the button. Are you ready for Today in History?
Well, I'm always ready for Today in History. The question is, are you ready for Today in History?
I never am. I'll just make inappropriate, immature comments while you give out facts and figures. Here we go.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Take it away, General.
Okay, oh boy. Here we go. Set off. Here we go. It is Wednesday, June 12th, 164th day of the year, 202 days remaining in this 2024. Like I said, next week we'll be into the hundos.
Wow.
We're cranking down here. The solstice, it's about 10 days away, I believe. And first real day of summer, according to our calendars, and get that rolling. This day, 1817, the earliest form of the bicycle. They called it the dandy horse.
The dandy horse?
Yeah, it was driven by Karl von Dross.
Okay.
Dross, one of the two. The dandy horse. I mean, it was a dandy horse.
Yes.
You didn't need to ride it, didn't need to feed it. I guess you ride it, didn't need to feed it. So how about that? This date, 1908, the Lusitania crosses the Atlantic in a record 4 days and 15 hours. What is significant about the Lusitania as a ship?
What date? What was the date that it crossed over?
1908, but the date's irrelevant on this.
Well, I was trying to put like a historical thing on there. I'm not sure what the Shark, I'm sure, knows.
Shark, would you please tell Thidoff what the significance of the Lusitania is and the fact that it's at the bottom of the ocean now?
It was sunk during World War I.
Okay.
Not two, one.
Well, 1908.
That helped.
Well, World War I wasn't in 1908.
I know, but I'm saying that World War II was a lot later than that. I'm saying I don't think it would have lasted till then regardless. But I thought that was the name of the Love Boat with Garrett Stubing.
The sinking of the Lusitania, as well as is it Ferdinand II, the assassination?
Yes, Austrian.
Gosh, nailed it.
Yes. That's
Feeling
what
good.
started World War I.
That was what the impetus of World War I
Yeah.
that off.
I do know that.
Okay.
I didn't know the Lusitano, that was the reason
That
that
was
it got sunk in.
all part and parcel, all together.
Right.
Cut off. This date, 1939. Shark, this is a big day for you. The Baseball Hall of Fame opens in Cooperstown, New York.
Yes.
Who were the first 5 guys inducted?
Oh, you want to do it, Shark?
I don't
First
have
5
them
guys
written
were
down.
I know
Walter
it.
Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Hannes Wagner, Ty Cobb, and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
But they were elected in 1934. When the hall actually opened in 39, they had 5 classes go in.
Oh,
So
really?
there were 19 guys
Yep.
that actually went in.
But those are the
in
first 5.
induction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well done. I didn't know that. I thought they were all in the first year.
That also led to World War II. Go ahead.
I don't know if that's accurate or
Well,
not,
I'm not
but
sure
sure.
about
This date, 1942, Anne Frank, for her 13th birthday, received her famed diary. Are you familiar with the Diary of Anne Frank?
With Diagram Frank.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
I am.
good. I'm
Yes.
glad. Most people have read that at some point during their educational journey.
Right.
This date, 1963, Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, is released. It was the most expensive film made to date. Highest production cost there. This date, 1975, Billy Williams hits his 400th home run. And this date, 1981, the first installment in the original trilogy, which were all pretty good. After the last ones have had some sketchy reviews, but Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark is released.
Always knew someday you'd come walking back through my door. I never doubted that. So what are you doing here in Nepal?
I need one of the pieces your father collected.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
I never meant to hurt you.
I was a child. I was in love. He was wrong and you knew it.
Harry, I'm sorry.
Do you know what you did to me in my life?
I can only say I'm sorry so many times.
Well, say it again anyway.
Sorry.
Come back tomorrow.
Why?
Because I said so, that's why. Ha! See you tomorrow, Indiana Jones.
Shark, that actress, what's her name? Do you know her? The actress in that scene?
Oh, yes. She was in Animal House.
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah, okay. So she was in Animal House.
Yeah.
Also in Scrooged with Bill Murray. She played as Karen Allen, right?
Karen Allen. You're
Played
right.
her his love interest in Scrooged.
Yeah. She's in the second one, too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, she's in the
third.
Third. She comes back for the third?
She's not in the second one, because the second one had like Kate Capshaw, who I think is Spielberg's wife,
Yes.
which was a bad. Temple of Doom, I hated it.
Oh, it was a great movie.
You thought Temple of Doom was good?
Yes.
Oh, I hated it. The whole put your hand through the chest, pull the heart out was stupid.
Oh, I liked the heart rip.
no,
out
I
scene.
didn't like that. That part grossed me out.
Well, they brought her back in the
And 4?
in 4.
So it was, yeah.
She's been in a number of these. The Dial of Destiny as well.
I haven't seen the most recent one.
It's okay.
last two.
It could have been done better.
Yeah.
It was good until the ending, which to me, average until the ending. The ending kind of didn't land the plane. This day, 1984. That's a literal and figurative thing.
Thank you.
This day, 1984. President Reagan challenges Sharks guy Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down that wall.
General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
So, Bobby, is he the last tough guy president we had? That was a pretty bold statement there.
It was.
I couldn't take in all the stuff that both the Bushes did. I could never take them that seriously because they had, I don't know, it just seemed like Reagan had such the presence.
He really did. He did a great job with that. I don't know if there's like an enemy that you're going to lean into like that. Maybe China. I'm not sure. But like that was, I mean, there was a, East versus West, and there was a great opportunity to do that stuff back then. Maybe not quite as much today. Some birthdays today is, speaking of Bush, George H.W. Bush, the 41st president, born on this date, 1924.
I've just repeated, word for word, the oath taken by George Washington 200 years ago. And the Bible on which I placed my hand is the Bible on which he placed his. It is right that the memory of Washington be with us today, not only because this is our bicentennial inauguration, but because Washington remains the father of our country.
He held the same Bible that... Wow.
I have a book that just came out of William Sherman's library,
Right, yeah.
and it's from '66. I would love to see what that Bible. Now I'm sure they've preserved it and done a good job with it. But yeah, that's pretty darn impressive. As I've mentioned before, Anne Frank, born on this date, 1929. Jim Neighbors, Sharks' favorite, Gomer Pyle, born on this date, 1930. Marv Albert, turning 83 years young. Yes.
Bibby to the head of the foul circle. Gives to Frazier on the right. Has the jump from 20. No good. Rebound, Giannelli. Hands to Bibby from the corner. Does not shoot to DeBusschere from 20. The jump. Yes! Lewis gets it to LeBron. For 3 for the win. Yes! This is for the win. Yes! The Knicks have defeated the Rockets. McGrady for the win. Yes! Both teams over the limit. Here's Arenas. This for the win. Yes!
He's amazing.
He is. He loves stilettos, too. Did you know that?
On his back.
Stilettos. Yes!
Tell.
You know, the first call in there was from a 1973 Knicks-Celtics game, so he was saying yes 50 years ago.
Hey, I mean, everybody's got their call. Turning 83 today. Meredith Brooks, the singer, turning 66 today. Godzilla, Hideki Matsui, turning 50 years young today. Antoine Jameson turning 48. Dallas Clark turning 45. And on this date, 1994, there was the passing of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Some holidays and observances today, Sharky. We've got Crowded Nest Awareness Day, Ghost in the Machine Day. And maybe that's what was going on. The Ghost in the Machine this morning.
Be something screwed
That's a
up.
Police album.
There you go. Why not?
Yeah.
International Falafel Day, Loving Day, National Jerky Day, National Peanut Butter Cookie Day, Poultry Day, Red Rose Day, Superman Day as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays and observances for this date. Wednesday, June 12th, the 164th day of the year and 202 days remaining.
Well done as always, General. Shark, yeah, Ghost in the Machine was a Police album in the early 80s. You and I would have seen some of the videos on MTV with like Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. That was on that album too. We can't play it, but it was there. All right, big show lineup for you today again. It's jam-packed until 9 o'clock.
You sound excited, off.
Dude, I can't tell you
Try to
excited.
restrain yourself.
No, listen, what do you
Try to restrain yourself.
Coming up next. Celtics and Mavs resume tonight. We have some significant injury news to discuss. We'll do that next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Fan traffic sponsored by Custom Air. This is the time of year when you can get sunburn and frostbite in the same week. Don't let your house feel the same. Be prepared. Schedule an appointment today at CustomAirColumbus.com.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to TriStateMen'sHealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your roof took a beating from winter storms, spring rain, and sun damage. Call Legacy Roofing Services before that crack or seam becomes a major leak, costing thousands of dollars. Call Legacy today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
One of the most important Buckeye football seasons ever is coming. The Fan is your home for all the news and interviews you need as fall camp approaches. Join us. We're a friendly bunch of degenerates. Your Buckeye station, The Fan.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
June is Pride Month, and OEA is proud to celebrate Ohio's LGBTQ community. We know our students can only thrive when they feel safe and welcome. And as educators, we must continue to create learning environments that nurture each student's potential, no matter where they live, what they look like, their gender identity, or who they or their parents love.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're looking at plenty of sunshine, high 79. Tonight we're dropping back down to the upper 50s to lower 60s. Should be a dry night and then a dry Thursday. Lots of sunshine again tomorrow. It will be hotter with highs in the mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. Thank you for tuning in with us today. Bob, we got Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight in Dallas. Tip-off set for 8:30. And I believe, if I've got the number right, I think that teams that fall, first of all, teams that fall behind 0-3 they're not going to win. It doesn't happen. Well, what it means is that, LeBron...
It's never happened before.
It's never happened before.
Unprecedented, I believe, is the word you were searching for.
Don't you think it's over if they lose tonight?
Yeah, I would say so.
Both teams have got some injuries. And the one thing about the Celtics side is more concerning to me. Kristaps Porzingis, and whenever they use this phrase regarding an injury, Bobby, it concerns me. It says he has a rare leg injury.
That's good.
If you have a rare injury...
better than well done.
I'll say if you have a rare injury, they said that, no, sure, he's got a torn medial reticulum. I don't know. Allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon in his left leg. The hell's all that mean? I don't know. They say he's day-to-day. But it's a random situation, Porzingis said. I felt something, now I have to deal with it. So, not sure if he's going to play or not.
They said they were leaning towards him playing, I thought.
God, maybe they are, but I'm just saying, like that. When you have a rare injury, I always think of like the Lou Gehrig thing back in 1939 when he ended up like that was a rare injury. Anytime you have a rare injury,
like Lou Gehrig's disease,
right? The one they named after him,
ALS.
ALS.
I don't know if I'd put this in that category.
No, I'm not saying. When I hear rare, though.
That might be a bridge too far.
That's a little. I'm not.
I mean, we're talking about a quote, rare calf injury versus one of the most debilitating diseases you can get.
And I'm just saying that when you hear rare injury, though, like that's what my mind goes to. I don't know
why? That might say more about you than anything else.
Okay, give me another rare injury. What's another rare injury you've heard of in your lifetime? I can't think of anything else. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's why they're rare, Thidoff.
I understand
they
that.
Don't happen that often.
That's why it goes into my mind. That's what I think back to.
They have a low frequency.
Yes, they do. That's what I think of, though. So Porzingis, though, we'll see what happens with that if he can play. Been a big part so far of this series. Porzingis has been for Boston, coming back after that long time off. And then also, it comes out now that Luka Doncic was questionable before Game 2 and said he had I don't know why, maybe this is a story, maybe it's not. He had a pain-killing injection.
Hey, welcome to real life, buddy. Welcome to pro sports.
So
everybody's like, it's terrible that they would do that to guys, unless it's your team in a big game. Take the shot. Take the shot. It's good. Now you could have an idea of what playing professional football feels like.
I remember DeVere telling me that on game days, there'd just be a line of guys with their right butt cheeks out going through the line and getting the pain shot.
Oh, yeah. It's like Captain America back in World War II. I mean, same needle, just replunge, just go in there, get some Toradol.
No, you give me hell for the Lou Gehrig comment on the comparison there, and you're going to compare going in the NFL to Captain America?
Well, I mean, back in World War II, they used to just use the same needles over and over again to
Did they really?
To inoculate. Oh, yeah. My father-in-law said in Vietnam they used the same needles. So I'm guessing in World War II, it wasn't like they regressed with their levels of protocols.
Right. No, you're right. I couldn't have lived back then.
I mean, I
can barely live now. But
yeah, you could.
I can barely live now, yeah.
Well, that's just, I mean, it's what it was. Now, we obviously have different needles, and it's not the same deal. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, Zach Thomas told me, so Zach Thomas played, I believe, 13 full seasons in the NFL. And he got a Toradol shot before every game except for his first preseason game. And even in preseason games where he was only going to play like a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Zach, that's like 200. I did the math. I was like 260 games basically. Plus you have some playoff games in there. Maybe there's some games you were hurt and you didn't play.
Right.
But like my neighbor was a pharmacist growing up. He's like the amount of anti-inflammatories you guys take. He's like, and it would not be good to do that on a long-term basis. Like after the season, you need to get off of that stuff and stay off of it. So I haven't taken ibuprofen in years. Other than like spot shots, I used to take it every day. That or naproxen.
Right.
Ibuprofen worked better for me. But I tell people, like, take some. It wasn't like your classic 2 pills. I mean, I would take 4 pills at a time, 800 milligrams, which is what they give you that out. And I take that 3 times a day usually, to be able to make sure I could do what I needed to do. Like, and that'd be on top of guys had Toradol shots, Metrol dose packs, all those different things.
How do you balance that for yourself? Like, when you look back at it now, like, do you regrets?
No. And bad mistakes. I've made a few.
Yes, I know.
Freddie Mercury.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know what? I guess I look at it relative. I did relative to what like my dad and those guys.
I'll say you got several generations we're looking at here.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that there's a fine line and healthy balance. Like when you're relatively young, you can still handle a lot of that as long as that's not like a lifestyle for you. I never like messed with pain pills. There's a lot of guys I know who started utilizing pain pills and they had addiction issues with it and everything else. But that was a masking agent. I always tell like the difference between like Toradols, like that brand or that vein of medicine, if you will, is, I mean, those are anti-inflammatories. They will pull all the inflammation out of the inflamed area. So it won't hurt due to the fact that what is causing the pain is no longer there, as opposed to a masking agent, which is just like no different than slamming down a bunch of beers, and just masking what it is. So, I mean, I never messed with the masking agents. I mean, I would take Toradol and whatever and different things like that occasionally, but I really didn't even use that much Toradol. I just would take ibuprofen and naproxen, and that usually did what I needed it to do.
So, as a son of a football player and a father...
Son of a sailor.
As a father...
Jimmy Buffett.
Who's got kids that play football, and obviously not at the level we're talking about, your kids are still young. Did your father pass on to you much advice when it comes to that sort of stuff?
Just always be aware of what you're doing.
Right.
And that's what guys are like, I didn't know. Like, well, did you ask a question?
Right, yeah.
I will never accept that from anybody who has something happen with their doctor and they're like, well, I didn't know. Right. Well, did you not ask? Like, be inquisitive about things.
Yeah.
It's your body. You only get one.
Right.
So when you're going to do something to it, what are you doing and why? What are the long-term effects? Can it get worse?
Right.
Am I just masking this for now and like it's not going to progress any worse? That's what I always ask doctors. Me playing on it does what? Will it get worse or is this just simply a pain tolerance thing? Am I already at the bottom of the barrel?
Right.
And I'm going to have surgery or a long layoff or whatever it is at the end of the season. If that's the case, okay. I'll make my decision based upon that. Is it something that can progress to become a bigger issue? Well, then I'm going to have to make a decision. How much worse can it get? What's the recovery look like? Are there going to be different stages of recovery based upon how bad it could potentially get? Will the treatment protocols change? Like asking all these questions. If I take this, what will it do?
It seems like there's all these different players have got points in their careers where it's like, if you don't take this, you can't play, and that might end up severely hurting your career.
And that's also like
but it also would hurt your life if you took it. So
that's the balance of
that's such a
quality
tough
of
thing.
life versus what you love.
Right.
And how much time you have sunk into this, and also the financial ramifications of your career, which is also a factor, which is like, if I don't play, is this going to damage my career moving forward? If I do play, will it damage my career moving forward? Like, those are questions that you have to ask yourself.
You got any situations where you regret either I should have taken this or I should not have taken this?
Oh, man, I don't.
Like, if I'd taken this, I'd have played in this game, could have changed things.
No.
Or if I hadn't taken this,
fortunately, I never did anything that caused like long-term damage that was something that was going to be irreversible. I mean, like my back bothers me. My back bothered me when I played. I've had like other little things that have bothered me. I mean, my fourth year, I would get lidocaine shots, which is just a pure numbing agent. I had a grade 2 separation in my shoulder. I'd get a needle that they drive down. Like if you put your hand on top of your shoulder and you feel the little bony outcrop right there where it starts to curve down, that's your AC joint. It's I can't even think of the two. Your scapula, or not your scapula, it's your collarbone coming in there, and I can't think of what the A is for. But basically, there's a little friction there, and like when you bang on that, it gets calcified, starts to separate, it'll hurt. And so I had to get a surgery on it after the season.
Right.
And like, hey, we can get a lidocaine shot in before every game. And the shot hurt, I would say it hurt worse than getting hit on it, but it didn't.
Right.
But it would hurt pretty bad. But you go in, it would last 3 hours, so that would be the last thing I would do before I'd go on the field. Because like if this game goes long, it's going to be wearing off at the end.
Can't go for OT. Let's go for two. Go for two.
I mean, you're going to be feeling it, and it's not going to feel good. I mean, when I first separated, I could hardly even raise my arm. Like, yeah, you'll be able to play this week. I'm like, I'm brushing my teeth, holding my right hand with my other hand.
Right.
But I got that done. I did that every week for like 9 weeks, and then surgery after the season. And there are things that I cannot do because of that, but I fully accepted that when I was playing.
When you made the decision.
I knew that there would be some things, but it's not like it functionally changes the quality of my life.
Right.
I can throw about 50 passes to kids, like my kids, before my arm starts to ache.
Right.
And there's elements of that. But yeah, you make that trade-off in your mind and you know what it is going into it. And don't be like polyamoc with it, where you think that it's just going to heal itself and be fine.
Sure.
Like, you understand there will be some downside.
All right, coming up next, we've heard from the SEC regarding college football walk-ons. Where does the Big Ten stand? We'll talk about that. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching big delays on I-70 on the east side. Lanes are blocked off on I-70 westbound just beyond State Route 310. Expect delays if you're coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Glow Fiber. Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic business internet solutions, call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The Mavs and Celtics battle for the title. Who will win? Will Tatum and Brown make it look easy? Will Kyrie dribble the ball off the face of the earth? Let's find out together. Listen to ESPN Radio's coverage of the NBA Finals right here on The Fan.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. Well, that could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD is having its summer open house, and you don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of the 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid off. NMLS 696891.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. Bobby, the SEC coaches came out recently and talked about...
So let me just say this. So the SEC, they have their spring meetings.
Right.
They have them down in Destin.
Yep.
Pretty nice.
Yes.
But in the heart of their conference.
Mm-hmm.
In a nice vacation spot. Then they have like their coaches meeting. They have multiple ones, but they use those as media events,
right?
To be able to push narratives, get people, coaches, and ads in front of the media, and talk about bigger issues, and help promote their conference. So we have our spring meetings in a city that no one cares. That I don't even know if they realize the Big Ten conference.
It's a Big Ten city now.
No, it's a city that has 2 Big Ten teams.
Okay.
I don't know if the majority of people in LA, if you asked them what conference USC and UCLA were in, if they would be able to.
Pac-8.
Yes. They play football.
Right.
They've got a team. But it was out there, and this happened over the weekend, unbeknownst to me and really the rest of the world.
Right.
And not that I'm someone special, but I do cover this for a living. The fact that I didn't know that it was happening until it was happening leads me to believe that it wasn't promoted very well.
Why do you think they did it out there?
Well, because they wanted to promote the new people coming to the conference. But the reality is, too, they never really promote this.
Right.
Like, they don't try to push it and put it in a good spot, make sure it's at like a nice hotel, get media to come in, and then they sit there and talk to all the different coaches, talk to the ADs, talk about objectives and different things that you're trying to push.
Right.
It's a great opportunity that's missed because of just lack of, I guess, foresight. Nick, Tony Batiti just took this over, but before that, the SEC does a really good job of how they promote their brand and conference. And it would behoove the Big Ten, if you will, to maybe take some notes.
It makes it, it's not media.
I don't know anybody that covered this thing from
I'll say it's not media friendly because because of the budget constraints and what, we're not going to send people out. Most people in the Midwest are not going to send their reporters out to L.A. for this, right?
Even when it was here, a lot of people didn't.
Right,
go.
yeah. I mean, this is different Big Ten Media Days. I know.
This region.
Right. Big Ten Media Days are different. That comes up in end of July. That'll be in Indy. But yes, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, the meeting out there in L.A., it was not promoted. You're right. We had no idea what was going on with that. The SEC does a much better job of that.
Yesterday, he's like, I didn't even know this was going on.
Yeah, right. So the walk-on situation with this, the House versus the NCAA settlement, where it's basically an end of scholarship limits, but instead, though, does put roster limits for each sport. And we've got the 85 scholarship limit for the Power 4.5, whatever it is, for college football.
4.5. How do you have half?
4.2. You're right. Well, I don't know. It's you get the 2 in the ones that are this year.
Do they count?
No, they don't count, but I feel like I got to say it. That's a Power 4. And Brett Bielema was talking about this. He was a walk-on.
In Iowa.
Yes, he ended up going to Iowa. His older brother, Bart. So you got a Bart and a Brett. That's just the family.
Bart Bielema?
There's a Bart Bielema.
I mean, the fact that we call Brett Bert Bielema is great.
Yeah, this is
the
Bart.
fact that he has a brother, Bart Bielema.
Yes, an older brother.
Bartholomew Bielema. That is fantastic.
That right there is just his parents.
That is on brand.
Parents are not at all creative. Bart and Brett.
I like the alliteration. I
know you do. You've got your families like that.
Well, yeah. So I was kind of. I'm named after my dad, so that's right. So is my oldest son, but I enjoy a good alliteration. Like my wife married into an alliteration.
She did. You're right. Yes.
I go, you upgraded your name. One of her friends was a double C.
Right.
And then when she got married, and love her husband, and it's all great. But her last name went from like a CC to a Smith. And I'm like, you went from like an awesome, phenomenal Italian name to just like Smith
right
at the end. And I'm like, and so it is what it is. But, if you got a nice little alliteration, I enjoy that.
So Brett ends up walking on there. And I've heard other stories about coaches that walked on and that led to their coaching careers eventually. Dabo's one of them, yes.
Urban was a walk-on.
Urban was a walk-on. Currently, right now, it says, this is not athletic, but programs currently with 85 scholarships, and then most power conference rosters range between 110 and 125.
You can expand them in the spring. I don't know about all the rules now. It used to be you have your 105 for camp.
Right.
So you would take 85 scholarship, 20 walk-on to camp. Then after camp, you could bring in, once school started, you could bring in folks from there. And then we would have like a spring roster where they would have to bring guys in during spring. It's not as big a deal now because there's so many early enrollees.
Yeah.
But you have to think, you would have your squad, you have guys who would graduate, go leave in the NFL, and depending on how that fluctuated, if you didn't have many early enrollees, you may have like 60 some odd scholarship guys, so you would need more bodies just to be able to practice functionally in the spring.
And when you look at some of the players, though, that have been, like Dallas Clark was a walk-on.
That's remarkable.
J.J. Watt started off as a walk-on.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys here who, and we talk about Dallas Clark, it was his birthday. Rudy's the most famous walk-on. Almost famous. He's the only one represented in the movie. But the movie's a bunch of lies, too, nonetheless. So as far as the walk-ons go.
I'm bitter, Thidoff.
Well, no, it's a lie. Go back and look up the things that weren't true in that movie.
Yeah, but they call it, what is it, some poetic liberties there?
Creative liberties? Something like that, yeah.
You want to make it better.
Do you ever hear Montana and
Montana was pissed about it.
Mike Golick talk about that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're like,
most Notre Dame guys don't like him.
There was a guy named Rudy on the team. I don't remember him, but there was not a big celebration in carrying him off the field and all that stuff.
I don't believe John Favreau went there either.
John Favreau. There was talking to a former teammate of mine.
Right.
And he did not like him. He goes, this guy comes back and acts like he's Joe Montana. Like he won like 2 or 3 national championships for us. Like walks around, wants to give like these impassioned speeches. Like, dude, you never even really played.
Right.
And they manufactured much of the movie about you. Like it's not even historically accurate.
But is that still true? He's the last one to have to be carried off the field, right? That's all that changed?
Yeah, I asked Gene Smith about it one time.
Because Gene Smith was on that team.
He was on that team, and he said, yes, he was the one that Rudy replaced on special teams.
Right.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah, Gene Smith was on that team. He was like, when Rudy was into the game.
I thought it was Vince Vaughn.
No, Vince Vaughn was the wide receiver. No, special teams, Gene Smith was actually the guy that Rudy went in for on that kickoff.
Tell me Gene got benched for Rudy?
Yes.
I wish I would have known that. We had him on. I mean, he's done here at the end of the month. I thought that was his kind of goodbye. I may have to have him on again and be like, Gene, you got benched for Rudy?
Rudy, he got benched for some 5'0" small dude.
100 and nothing.
Walk-on guy. He got benched for him. Now think about it. Gene Smith never got his moment there. And look what happened to his career after that. Nothing. Gene Smith, disappointment, right?
Well, I mean, he did become AD.
Well, whatever, yeah. But
Ohio State for 20 years.
Well, yeah. So what are your thoughts on the walk-ons? Do you think there should be a limit on the number of walk-ons? Or
I wouldn't mind a limit as long as it's a responsible limit.
I don't see... I would say give as many opportunities as you can. If you can get them out there, if you can find a way to incorporate them.
The problem is that they're trying to balance here is like athletes as employees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be the issue, yes.
How that looks. Yes. But, I mean, you employ people at a company.
Uh-huh.
There's also people that volunteer.
There's interns, unpaid interns.
That's essentially what it is. And if you want to give them, food, because for a long time, walk-ons weren't allowed to eat with the team.
Oh, really?
And then they changed that. Yeah, I don't know, somewhere in the last 10, 12 years. Well, they couldn't come to the team meals, which I thought was ridiculous. Like, if the school can afford and wants to pay for it, that's the most ludicrous rule I've ever heard.
Right.
Because it segregates your team. It's awful. And so they changed that. But now they're talking about, like, cutting it back. There was a guy in my class who is from Beechcroft, Antonio Smith.
Okay.
And walked on here and ended up starting in his senior year. He ended up getting redshirted. The 2006 year, he was the nickelback. He had an interception for a touchdown against Penn State that helped sway the tide of the game.
Okay.
I think we won that game in 06, 28-14. And he had a pick six that either A, put us up 7, or B, put us up 14 to kind of clinch it.
Right.
But he made significant plays. And he was tremendous.
He got a tryout with the Colts.
Yes.
Undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
And that, he was a walk-on for Beechcroft. Terry Glenn was technically a walk-on.
He was like a preferred walk-on.
So Prop 48 preferred walk-on. And I remember Terry telling me that. I'm like, that is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
You won the Biletnikoff 3 years later.
Right.
That's first-round draft pick. So, to limit all opportunities, I think is crazy. If you said, hey, limit 25 walk-ons, I think that'd be all right. I wouldn't have a problem with that. If you said 30, now if you said 10, I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of tight. I would not agree with that. But if we're 20 to 30 in there, I'm like, okay. That's...
I've got no problem.
The reality is, there were guys on... Mel Tucker used to always say, I want guys that played football in high school. He's like, you would have started on my high school team.
Right.
It'd be so amazing. But I mean, there's varying degrees, and there were guys who, like Rob Harley, who I played with.
Yeah.
The great nephew, I believe, of Chick Harley. I think that's his great uncle. It was a walk-on here, earned a scholarship play. Like, they Tress, and they had a very vibrant walk-on program. They've had a number of guys, even with Ryan. Like, you look at Xavier right now.
Right.
Johnson, that guy caught a touchdown pass against Notre Dame in the Horseshoe that basically stemmed the tide of that game.
Sure.
Like, the guy was an integral part of some really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a proponent of limiting those opportunities.
See, I'm not either. If the program can carry the weight, if the coach can manage it, I'm okay with that. I don't care how many there are.
I mean, like, limitless versus like, okay, we'll set 30 in there.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that seems like it could be a responsible number. If somebody just wants to have a limit on it,
right,
25 to 30, it'd say, all right.
But just think about if they had a limit of, say, 25 and J.J. Watt was 26th or Dallas Clark was 26th,
I get it.
We would have missed out on some great players.
I understand that. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not advocating for a limit. I think it's fine how it's run right now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you want to make a limit, don't. People are like, well, make it 10. I'm like, 10? I'm like, that's like 2 dudes a class.
Yeah.
2.5 guys a class.
Right.
I mean, that's not.
That's nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing. You know, like, if you want to make it 30, I'm like, okay, like, I still wouldn't be like championing that, but I could say that seems like a rational number. All right, we got to get a break, though.
Yeah. One of the all-time greats is not allowed to defend his title. We'll tell you about that in the quick hitters next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching delays on I-70 westbound, right near the State Route 310 exit on the far east side. The right lane is blocked off as crews work to clear up a crash. If you're coming in from the Edna-Pataskala area, expect to be slow moving on I-70 westbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Ready for an amazing deal? BreezeLine's fiber-powered internet, starting at $19.99 per month, offers the reliability you deserve and security you can trust. Whether you're streaming, gaming, or working from home, we've got all your needs covered with speeds up to 1 gig and our 2-year price lock guarantee. This deal gets even better with 2 free months of internet, free equipment, and free Wi-Fi your way to protect against cyber threats. Act now. Terms and conditions apply. Offer expires July 8th, 2024. Learn more at breezline.com.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic, Hidden Valley Ranch, or new smoky barbecue. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
The Oilers and Panthers battle for Lord Stanley's jug.
Cup. It's a cup.
Sorry, I was thinking of the little brown cup.
No, that's a jug, not a cup.
Catch all the action on The Fan or ESPN Columbus on the Fan app.
Good job.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and this is my favorite time of the year in Columbus, Ohio. It's summertime, so that means I can go out and lay by the pool, play in the pool with my kids, go play a little bit of golf, run on the track, hike, jog, do whatever I like. But that wasn't the case a couple of years ago. I had joint pain, I had knee problems, and that's from many years of playing professional football. So what did I do? I went to QC Kinetics, and you know what? I brought my dad there. We went there, we talked to him. We looked at their non-surgical procedures that required no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. And since then, man, my knee's been feeling good. My dad's received relief as well. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and allow it to restore and repair the most damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, and do the things you love again, just like I can. They're under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheen-Cup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. So go check them out. Don't wait any longer. Go to QCKinetics/Columbus or give them a call at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're going to be looking at temperatures on the chilly side heading out the door, but we get up to about 80 degrees as we head into the afternoon hours today. Gets even hotter tomorrow with a high around 85 to 90. And then as we head towards Friday, we are looking at highs in the upper 80s with a 20% chance of pop-up showers or storms. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, Mark the Shark with you. I think this is normally where we say, Sharky, how are you? Right? Good morning. Isn't that what Beamer usually does? This is like the time when you guys have your greetings?
Yeah, if you go ahead and play that. Play
quick hitters first?
Yeah.
And then we do it. Okay, here we go.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Okay, now say it.
Sharky, how are you today, my friend?
It's good to see you guys. Great to have you in my view this morning.
Appreciate that.
Yes. Did that sound genuine?
It did.
All right. Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
He has won Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest 16 times, including the last 8 in a row. He will not make it 9 straight this 4th of July. Chestnut has signed an endorsement deal with Impossible Foods, a company that makes plant-based hot dogs. It's not a hot dog if it doesn't have meat in it, if you ask me. But anyway, Nathan's Famous wasn't amused and banned Chestnut from competing in their event. It is their event, after all. Here's what Pat McAfee had to say about it yesterday.
I say this, Nathan's. It's a hot dog eating contest. If this vegan hot dog eating guy wants to eat your hot dogs, why don't you use it as an opportunity to remind people your hot dogs are better than other hot dogs? Why are you scared of the greatest hot dog sucker in the history of hot dog sucking, Don? It might do better than your people because he's a vegan hot dog guy. Let the guy suck down dogs is what we're all saying. And there's enough time to figure this whole thing out. And I hope that we're able to get it accomplished, because if I turn that on and I got some Bush League hot dog eaters on my TV, I'm not going to be impressed. If I see somebody put down 15 or 20 and they're in second place, I'm going to know this is crap.
That's the problem, Tito, because the best isn't there, and it's going to come up short. And
kind of like the PGA now.
No, the best are still on the PGA Tour.
Are they?
The quitters left.
Are they the best,
the money-seeking, greedy golfers
left. Joey Chestnut took an endorsement from a
vegan.
A fake hot dog.
He did. Nathan's is only hurting itself, though, Tito.
It sounds like, yes, I agree with McAfee on that. They did miss a big opportunity there, but
there's still time for them to recant.
When I read through this story, though, Bobby, that's the first time I've heard of the MLE. There's like a major league eating. Like,
of course. I didn't. Honestly, that might have been the biggest upset on the board this morning.
What's that?
Today was the first day you heard about the MLE.
Yes. I just say...
Based upon your robust appearance a couple years ago, now you're leaned down, much more svelte. I can't believe that people would think that you didn't know about that.
Bobby, I hate these contests. They're disgusting. I don't watch any of it.
What is more American than gluttony?
I understand that, but it doesn't mean I like to watch it.
On the 4th of July, eating just for eating's sake. Not even for function.
Hey.
Not for survival. Just to engorge yourself, sucking dogs down your throat.
If you want to make it more enticing for me, have some danger in it. Have some boned meat. You know what I mean? Something that's got something where you've got to clean it off the bone all the way.
They do have like
I know they do. I'm saying that's more that though does it more for me. Or corn cob eating.
Eat the whole chicken wing.
You
see
can,
if they can
that
choke
right there,
and die.
That or do that kind of thing if you're going to do it. But yeah, the hot dog thing, it's disgusting. They dip in the water and then Bobby.
Hey, man.
Have you ever tried it?
What do you mean? Have I eaten a hot dog?
No. Have you ever tried any kind of competitive eating with hot dogs?
Not with hot dogs. I don't like hot dogs enough.
Okay, what have you?
I ate one time 18 tacos from Taco Bell.
18 tacos?
Yeah, 18 hard tacos.
Tell me you were in college or high school.
College.
Okay, so nothing recently on that one.
No. I will say this. My wife stopped eating Taco Bell for a long time because I ate, I think, probably 12 one night.
Yeah.
When it used to be that Taco Bell right on the South Campus on High Street. We swung through there, and she watched me eat. She goes, I ate probably 12 hot dogs or 12 tacos in like 5 minutes.
Right.
She's like, you didn't even come up for air. It's like, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
Just smashed them down, and she went in and was throwing up while I was eating the tacos.
All right.
She's like, you made me sick. I'm like, what? I'm the one that's eating them all.
Who's the one teammate you would bet on, former teammate in either college or the NFL, that you think could compete and do reasonably well in a hot dog eating contest? Do you have something like I think Schlegs.
That's just sheer desire and will.
Right.
Listen, we'll take a break. We'll get to it after the break. I'll think on that.
Coming up next, the Guardians continue to success against the Reds. We will discuss that next in the re-rack. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now we are still watching delays on the far east side because of a crash on I-70 westbound. There is a crash that has only the left lane open on I-70 westbound just past the State Route 310 exit. Expect delays if you're coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 with a buzz term for you, GLP-1. The buzz part doesn't mean GLP-1 isn't important. Quite the opposite. GLP-1 is a crucial hormone produced in our gut that regulates blood sugar and appetite. Basically, it helps control our weight. The buzz is because pharmaceutical companies are positioning medications as your only treatment option. But that's not true. Losing weight with Awaken 180 already supports GLP-1 function, and we're now introducing GLP-1 Balance. GLP-1 Balance by Awaken 180 addresses the root causes of weight issues by focusing on nutrition, gut health, and sleep. By addressing these areas, your body naturally balances GLP-1 levels, making weight loss easier and more sustainable without lifelong medications or side effects. If you're curious about GLP-1 Balance and how it can work for you, talk with us. Find us online at awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss.
When I'm not voicing Wendy's ads, I'm gaming. I stay up and fueled because Wendy's delivers late.
Are you recording a Wendy's ad? Come on!
Got 'em. Whatever you're up for, we're down. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Delivery Late Night. Open till midnight or later.
Hours and delivery availability may vary.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
We all know breakfast is an important part of your day. But sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. You know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 10 or more stock kitchen cabinets and countertops. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark. The Shark trailing 5-2 in the ninth against Cleveland closer Emmanuel Clase. The Reds scored a run and had 2 men on base, but T.J. Friedel lined out to shortstop, ending the game and giving the Guardians a 5-3 victory. Josh Naylor had a homer and 3 RBIs for Cleveland, and Stephen Kwan had 3 hits, scored a run, and drove in 2. Tristan McKenzie gets the win. Clase hangs on for his 20th save, and Nick Martinez suffers the loss for Cincinnati. The same 2 teams play tonight at Great American Ballpark. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight in Dallas. The Mavericks trail the Celtics 2-0 with both losses coming in Boston. Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis suffered what the team called a rare injury to his left leg and is listed as questionable for tonight. In golf, the U.S. Open begins tomorrow in Pinehurst, North Carolina, and Live Tour golfer John Rahm has withdrawn from the 3rd major of the year. He has a foot infection. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby Carpenter with you. Mark the Shark. We're with you till 9 o'clock before Bishop and Friends takes over. We do this at the top of every hour. Here's your 3-rack.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Bobby, I had the jersey out last night when I got home, or last night before I went to bed, ready to wear. I've got a Reds jersey that I was going to wear in today if the Reds had won against the Guardians. They did not. Shark is only wearing a Guardians jersey. Guardians get a 5-3 win. They're playing tonight again at 7:10 at Great American Ballpark. Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guards against Nick Lodolo for the Reds. Should be a good matchup in that one. And Shark went on yesterday and talked about the domination that the Guardians have had over the Reds, this Ohio Cup stuff.
Someone mentioned to me, Shark, that you said that they had won it like so many years of the last however many. Like 16 out of 20 or something like that. 1/retained, because in ties, you continue to keep the cup if you already have it.
Yep.
So I think there was a Red fan out there that bristled a little bit that you talked about their cup ownership as if they had won it every year as opposed to tying.
What I said was the Reds have won the Ohio Cup 4 times in 27 years.
That's accurate, right?
That is accurate.
Right.
But of those other...
They never retained it, though.
Yes, they're 23. They've never won consecutive times or even tied.
They won 3 consecutive years.
But they never tied it to keep it?
But they never tied it to keep it.
Wouldn't it be easier just to play 3 games or 5? And they could rotate that back and forth?
I don't know. They do the same thing in the Ryder Cup and President's Cup. If they end in a tie,
retain it.
The previous winner retains it.
So that's 7:10 tonight, Great American Ballpark. Good news for the Reds, though. Noelvi Marte. He played his first game in a rehab assignment down in Louisville. Had a pair of hits in that game. He's still serving his 80-game suspension, Bob, for steroid use. He can rejoin Cincinnati on June 27th. Marte was the key piece in the trade.
Marte Parte?
In which the Reds sent Luis Castillo to Seattle in July of 22. He last year played 35 games with the Reds. His slash line was 316, 366, 456. Now, what's interesting about this, and look, I know the Reds are like, a half game out of the wild card spot right now. I don't have this, thought that the Reds are definitely going to make the playoffs, so I'm not saying that. But what is interesting about this, but Marte, though, Bobby.
Marte Parte.
Because he was suspended for 80 games for steroid use, he can play the rest of the season starting on June 27th, but he's not eligible for the postseason.
Why?
because of the suspension. If you get suspended for steroids like that, the 80-game suspension, you are ineligible for the postseason in that year.
Okay, so can you explain to me what the 80-game suspension is for then?
What do you mean, like, why? I mean, it's for steroids, but, like, what do you mean, like, why?
I understand, like, what is then why the post game on top of it?
I don't know. That's just something they worked into the rule. Did you know that, Sharky? I
did not know that.
Yeah, he's not eligible for the postseason, so Reds get there.
This is another ridiculous thing, a part of baseball. Like, we're going to punish you twice for the same thing.
He could have a fantastic second half of the season, lead the Reds to the playoffs, and then can't play in the postseason.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like, why wouldn't you make this suspension longer? Suspend them for an entire year. But don't tell somebody they can come back and then you can't play in the postseason. I believe the next
one would be a whole year suspension. But yes, I hear you're saying, though. Yes, but they're saying you can come back.
Just make this first one longer.
Yeah, to make it longer, to make 90 games. Do that if you're going to do it. Yes.
Or say the first time is for all year.
Yeah, think about that like in football. If they said a quarterback got suspended, a starting quarterback for an NFL team gets suspended for half the season.
You come back, but then you have to sit out
then you
again.
can't play in the playoffs.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard
now,
of.
It shouldn't affect the Reds this year because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But still, that's an interesting wrinkle in this whole thing is that the way they do that. And I started thinking about this, and how baseball, if they could have done this 25 years ago, how much different the record books would look if they would have tested for steroids and punished for steroids back then.
Maybe they should just stop doing all that together and the record books will look sweet.
No, it's out. Look, that's where baseball lost it for me.
My dad says it all the time. Shark wants to sit here and he'll argue till he's blue in the face. Said there were so many guys using that nobody stood up and said that this is wrong and we should test. So that's why the NFL had a very vibrant drug testing policy early on. I asked my dad, why? He goes, because I don't want to do steroids. So, and a lot of other guys didn't.
Right.
So we all was like, hey, we're going to put this in here and everybody's going to agree to it. And it's going to be punitive to the guys who are juicing. And they won't be able to do it anymore because it's a competitive disadvantage for us and it's a financial disadvantage as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yes.
like, if these guys, so I tell them, like, so many guys were using, like, the union's strong. Give me that crap. Stand up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
So either A, they're cowards, B, they don't care.
Bobby, think of how many guys' careers
they're all using
were shortened because they didn't use steroids and HGH.
Think how many guys' careers were elongated because they did.
I know, but I'm saying that, Bobby, think how pissed off I'd be right now if I'm a 45-year-old pitcher sitting at home because my ERA is over 5 because
40 you say 45?
Yeah.
Who do you think 40 who you are? Roger Clemens?
No, I'm just saying if I'm that guy, how about age out there.
How about if you're 30, 32?
Okay.
And you've gotten beat down, you played 6 or 7 years and you're a marginal bullpen guy and you're giving up lots of jacks to dudes that are hitting dingers off you all day long. So you play 7 years as opposed to 11 or 12 and you were half as good as you maybe would have been otherwise. So you played less, you made less, your career wasn't as good, then you find all this out. Yeah. Well, you know what? You knew what was going on anyway.
Right.
So you should have stood up and said something. So obviously you didn't care that much.
Shark, I think, first of all, I think I'm happy they've included the Negro League stats into Major League Baseball now. They put it all together. Okay, so we've got a new batting average leader. There's different Babe Ruth, some of his records have been broken and all these things now as they've done that.
Babe Ruth's had records broken for a long time.
No, I'm saying though, but just in one day, it all came out with the Negro League stats were included. And again, I'm in favor of it, but I don't think they would have done this if the record books weren't already altered dramatically by steroid use.
I don't know.
That's a pretty interesting theory. I would say that there's some validity to that theory.
I think you should have Major League records.
Right.
And Negro League records. I don't know how you.
I think the steroid records should be in there. And you know what you do? You put asterisks beside all of them.
The steroid records are in there.
Right. What I'm saying is, I think that if we're still at 755, and if we were still if that number were still there, and Bonds hadn't broken it the way he did, and still at 61 with Roger Maris, I don't think they would have made this transition and put those Negro League stats in there. Just because, for baseball, Shark, for you and I growing up for years, the numbers are what stood out.
Right.
Okay? And they got changed dramatically thanks to Bonds and Clemens and Sosa and McGuire. It got changed dramatically because of that.
But when you say Josh Gibson now holds the Major League record, that's not the Major League record. He wasn't in the Major Leagues. That's like saying if some USFL player had rushed for 2,500 yards that he has the NFL record. No, he has the USFL record. That's all I'm saying, Tito. The fact that the stats are so incomplete from the Negro Leagues.
Well, they are incomplete. They're incomplete in Major League Baseball, too, though.
Probably.
We found out that Ty Cobb's number.
Probably.
No, we know Ty Cobb's hit number. After Pete Rose broke it, years later, we found out he did actually have one fewer hit Ty Cobb did.
Yes.
Because of shoddy record keeping.
They made a movie about that called Mr. 3000 that starred Bernie Mac. Is that about Ty Cobb?
I don't think it's about Ty Cobb. Bernie Mac, though, as a baseball player, if you could pull that off.
Did they take some poetic liberties with the appearance and everything?
Ironically,
I
don't think it was a true story.
I thought that was based on Ty Cobb's going back and playing. No, is it not?
They did make a movie about Ty Cobb.
That was Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones played Ty Cobb.
That's right. You ever see that? Was that any good?
I did see it, and no, it wasn't good.
I don't know.
Best movie ever is 61. I had an all-new appreciation for Mickey Mantle after watching that.
So glad you said that.
I loved it. I thought Mickey Mantle, because he was this great guy later in life that I knew, I didn't realize he was a drunken fornicator.
Oh, yeah.
He lived in a hotel. I'm like, that's all you needed to say.
He thought his father died at a very young age, and so does Mickey thought he was going to die by the time he was 40, so he just lived it up.
There's a better way to do it. Let me know.
Okay, so if I have to watch one movie next, should I watch 61 or 42?
They're both good.
I haven't seen either one.
They're very different.
You haven't seen either one?
No.
Oh, they're both really good.
Tito,
they're very different. I guess I looked at 61. I was like, man, Mickey Mantle is the man. He is the dude. He's like, if I was in college and that just kept on rolling, if I never grew up and could just be Peter Pan on Neverland, I would have been Mickey Mantle. So I was dating starlets, running around, wrecking cars drunk on Broadway in New York, just leaving them there, walking off.
The story about him and Billy Martin on the hunting trip is hysterical. And also the one where he filled out the form about, I got to see what it was. It's inappropriate. I can't say it on the air. There's another thing with where some kind of questionnaire. So he had to fill, I don't know if it was the Hall of Fame or what it was for, where he had to fill something out.
Yeah.
He spoke about a situation he had with a female fan in the, under the bleachers or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But Billy and Mickey and Whitey were quite the partying trio, and the Yankees had to get rid of one of them.
Yeah.
And they got rid of the one that wasn't a star.
Got rid of Billy Martin. Yep, that's right. They famous. So, there's so many great stories though, and things that you could never like. There are things, Bobby. It's like the things when you talk with your high school buddies. Maybe not necessarily. You were such you were an athlete back then. So you might not have done all the things that I, as a non-athlete, did. But look back on it.
Did them, though.
Yeah, you look back and say, "How am I still alive?" And things like you never.
There's a lot of things I've done that where
I'm saying like there's things you don't want your kids to ever do, but you look back on it and think, God, that was a great time. You know, how much fun was that?
It's a great learning experience.
It's amazing.
The writers covered it up back then.
Yes.
They didn't report it.
Sure, right.
You know, Babe Ruth had a venereal disease and was hospitalized, and it came out
VD?
that he,
what do you have, AIDS?
No, I don't think it was AIDS back then.
It was not syphilis, but he had
gonorrhea.
He had VD.
Wait, Jimmy Dugan? Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan?
Jimmy Dugan. And they reported it as Babe ate, 20 hot dogs or something.
Right, he was sick. Yeah.
He ate something.
John Goodman in that one, too. God, Bobby.
John Goodman was great. I enjoyed the Babe.
It was bad.
Okay.
Was it? Or was it accurate?
At least in Pride of the Yankees, Babe Ruth played
himself.
Babe Ruth.
Yes, he did. But the Bernie Mac thing, how did he not get an Oscar for that? Him pulling off a baseball player? Seriously? Well, that's Oscar worthy, Bobby.
I'm with you.
What was the Tom Selleck one?
Oh, the one in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the love of the game?
No, that was Dennis Quaid.
What?
I think that was Dennis Quaid, wasn't it?
For the love of the game is Kevin Costner.
Okay. Now this is official into like old guy talk
right.
now.
You're right.
Okay.
The rookie was Dennis Quaid.
The rookie was Dennis Quaid. For love of the game was Costner. And we don't know what the
Bull Durham also Costner.
Yeah. Also Costner. We don't know what the Tom Selleck movie was.
I can't remember the name.
I think it was called The Mustache.
Nope.
The Stash. It was the Stash. Okay, so 42 or 61. Which one should I watch? If I'm watching one.
Which one do you want to watch?
Watch them both. Why can't you watch them both?
Because it's not good radio if I don't make you guys choose one. Which one's better, 42 or 61?
Let's go numeric.
61.
Okay, there you go.
All right, 61.
Don't let Artie watch that, though.
Don't let him watch 61?
Not yet.
Look, I got a feeling Artie could teach me a few things. Coming up next, the Browns are missing a pretty important player at minicamp yesterday. We'll give you the details next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching delays on I-70 westbound on the far east side. There is a crash cruiser working to clear up in those westbound lanes just past the 310 exit. Expect delays if you're coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. BMI Federal Credit Union has been voted best credit union for the past 6 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more.
Need parts fast? O'Reilly Auto Parts has fast. Need them now? We've got now. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. We're O'Reilly Fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey guys, Andy Katzenmoyer for Game Day Men's Health. Struggling with low energy, lack of focus, and trouble in the bedroom? You might have low testosterone. Game Day is here to help. They specialize in low T and other treatments just for men, like vitamin therapy, sexual wellness, and weight loss. Best of all, it's quick. Get started in as little as one visit. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan to book your free low T test today. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan.
With Tim Hortons 2 hot breakfast sandwiches for $6 deal, you can mix and match your favorites. Mix and match between savory sausage or naturally hickory smoked bacon. Mix and match between an English muffin or flaky biscuit. Any two served with a freshly cracked egg and melted cheese. You can even mix and match how you share it. One for you, one for them, 2 for them, or 2 just for you. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. It's time for Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Single item at regular price. Modifications and tax extra. Additional terms apply.
This is Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We run a lot of ads about our firm, but often we don't discuss the resources Cordell & Cordell has available for men facing divorce. We provide many webinars and town halls on YouTube that contain a wealth of information, including our Men's Divorce podcast. Visit CordellCordell.com/resources for the latest news and to download our guides.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Welcome to the Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the Plus Side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the Plus Side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't miss the Jeep Make This the Summer event, where right now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,836 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 7/1/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're looking at plenty of sunshine, high 79. Tonight we're dropping back down to the upper 50s to lower 60s. Should be a dry night and then a dry Thursday. Lots of sunshine again tomorrow. It will be hotter with highs in the mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Beamer and Shark love baseball. Bobby wants to murder Rob Manfred with his bare hands. See? A little something for everyone. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. Thank you so much for spending part of your Wednesday with us. So we've got these mini camps going on. These we call mini camp still. Is that what we can refer these to as, Bobby? Is it mini camp?
For the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's their name.
And this is not an optional one. This is a required
so you have
activity.
The organized team activities, which are optional, and then everybody has their mandatory mini camp. So if you are under contract, you have to be there.
Or you get fined. And Amari Cooper is going to experience that because he was not at Browns minicamp on Tuesday. Unexcused absence, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said, subjecting himself to fines from the team. He's in the final year of his deal.
Okay, that's what's in the deal.
$23.8 million this year against salary cap. And Stefanski said there's been dialogue about an extension. Cooper turns 30 next week. So he was not out there. At what point, I mean, he at what point do you become, or is it a red flag at all that he missed, that these guys, we'll talk later on, I know Rodgers missed minicamp also, but is it a red flag at all?
Excuse, do you see the McAfee thing where he said, what's the guy they just traded for from the Eagles, the defensive end?
That the Browns just did?
No. The Jets. Because neither him or Rodgers are there. And McAfee was talking about it because Robert Saleh said they were inexcused absences.
Right, inexcused. Said unexcused. Yes, it was. Yes,
it can be inexcusable.
Right,
but I think he means unexcused.
Unexcused. He said it twice even.
So then the reporter even followed up. He's like, "These are inexcused absences." I'm like, just say unexcused, right. And then he'll realize it and go back the other way.
Right.
But Rodgers, he said, had some very personal stuff going on, and that's when he badgers AJ. He's like, is he in Antarctica somewhere? Like,
it's in a dark room.
AJ's like, really?
Right,
the possibilities are endless. But Amari Cooper, like, he's trying to get a new deal. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, guys get it. I mean, he's a pro. He's been in the offense before. Everybody knows he can still play. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about that if I'm a Browns fan. Aaron Rodgers, he's got something. And did they say... The best part was, he goes, so are they being fined? He goes, they're subject to the fine.
Subject to fines, yes.
Because they can waive that fine.
So, Bobby, what's this? Does this actually accomplish something? I mean, look, we know Amari Cooper is going to be out there day one. It makes a point. It's making a point a little bit. And here's the thing, though. Guys don't want to go out there if for some reason, and that's why they have, they call it the hold in, where I'll go there, I'm not going to get fined, but I'm not going to practice and do anything. And I'm okay with that.
If I get hurt, you're not going to be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. We'll pretend. We'll keep negotiating as if you didn't tear your ACL.
Sure.
That's not going to be the case. And I understand it's a very, very, very rare thing that could potentially happen. So you get that. But no, players never mind, like, hey, you're in the last year deal. You're having some dialogue. This is one of your levers to be able to push this as much as you can.
Right.
Go for it, man. Well, as long as you're here when it matters and you can play.
But, like, they know he's going to be there. And so... And I understand, don't practice if you're going to risk your big contract. I understand that. All of that I understand. But I just don't get staying away for that first day or whatever.
Well, sometimes it's just to prove a point where the coach looks around the room like, yeah, we're not as good as we thought. And then the coach starts saying, you better tell these guys, like, we've got slap A and B out here that aren't getting it done.
Yeah.
Thing one and thing two, like, I'm the guy. So me not being there just lets kind of everybody know. Now, sometimes you leave and the rookies, some of the younger guys go play well, and then they're like, well, maybe we don't need you as much as we thought.
Yeah, that's the part that I just look at them like, it's that the Browns know Cooper wants a new contract. They know that already, regardless if he's in camp or not. Regardless, he shows up and doesn't practice, doesn't participate in anything, just stands around, in his shorts and his shirt. You got to think,
you have a quarterback coming back,
right?
So you would want him there.
Yes,
and that's not. They know he can play, but you want to develop that rapport, and him not being there. This is his way to enact his only leverage, and he's paying for it. They're going to fine him.
Yes.
It's not going to be cheap, but he's doing this to hopefully get a new deal done. And I understand it. I guarantee all of his teammates, none of them are going to come out and say anything bad about it.
Don't come out and say anything bad. Like Watson said, and this was on The Athletic, Amari's our teammate, our brother.
Randy?
The decisions he has to make, we support him.
Or Deshaun.
Okay. Did I say Randy?
No, you just said Watson. Clarification for the audience.
That's a good idea.
Some people may have been confused that you were talking about Randy Watson, the lead singer for Sexual Chocolate.
Right, from Coming to America. Yes, I did see that one, Bobby. But in the back of your mind as a teammate, though, couldn't you be a little pissed off about this? Because like what you're trying to accomplish, though, as a team.
You know why you're not? And this is why no one ever says anything unless you're being ridiculously punitive and like it just whatever. Like he wants a new deal. Everybody knows that.
Right.
He's not being unreasonable. If you're a good teammate, he's working, he's going to show up in shape, all those things. Because you may be in that situation someday.
Sure.
And I remember one of the vets like, you never comment when guys aren't here.
Right. I have not seen anybody. Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, whatever. And they're like, one day that may be you.
Right.
And you don't want your teammates sitting there selling you down the river. I'm like, all right, enough understood. It makes sense. Unless guys are just being utterly ridiculous when it comes to things. But they know how the teams treat guys. They see it. They see it all the time. They're like, go get yours. Do what you got to do. Like, no one's going to. I was paranoid my rookie year. Like, my deal hadn't gotten done yet. I didn't want to miss the first meeting.
Right.
And they're like, don't come in here. I'm like, I don't want people to think, like, no one thinks anything. Everybody's been there. Tell them to get it done, work on it. If you're out for 6 weeks because you want the highest rookie contract of all time, then we might start saying stuff. But until that, if you're being reasonable and they're not, don't worry about it.
If you are a soccer fan out there, we've got some tickets to give away. Shark, you're not here. Let me do it next segment. It's waiting too long. Is that what it is, Shark? Okay, we'll do it next segment then. We'll do the end of the next segment. Is that okay? Nod your head. Now you're just throwing your hands up in disgust. But anyway, stick around because later on in the show, later on in this hour, we'll do it at, let me see, Bobby. We've got to pick a time to do this, but let's do it.
Shark, I want to do it at 8.
Can I do it at 8 now, Shark?
Do it at 8, yeah.
Top of the hour.
Top of the hour. We are going to give away tickets to Man City versus Chelsea.
There you go.
Manchester City and Chelsea FC are going to face off Saturday, August 3rd at Ohio Stadium. It's a friendly, which you already know pisses me off, but it's still a good match to go see. I would love to go see that as well.
Guy gets mad about friendly.
Did
you ever eat at Friendly's?
Oh, Friendly's was good. They still have them around.
Okay.
There's still one over, I think, like on by Polaris, right? 23 or somewhere around there. Anyway, we'll give away those in the 8 o'clock hour. But coming up next, we talked about the Browns. What's the 4-1-1 with the Bengals and Jamar Chase?
4-1.
Is that okay? Wait, great. That's an old reference.
Anybody under the age of 40 is like, what does that have to do with anything?
Call for information.
Yeah.
We used to have a phone number you call for time and temperature, too. They would tell you the time. Coming up next, though, we are going to talk the Rocky Boiman, ESPN CFP analyst, host of the Eddie and Rocky Show. We'll get the feeling of what's going on with the Bengals next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on the far east side on I-70 westbound. This is right near the Edna-Pataskala area, just past the 310 exit. Again, on I-70 westbound, expect to run into crews in the far right lane. I'm 10 TV's Amy Staggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus, the home of the best blended whiskey in America. Support local and grab a bottle at your local liquor store right now. But they don't just make whiskey. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. High Bank teamed up with 614 to launch your new favorite go-to, 614 Vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. There's no taste like home with 614 Vodka. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Father's Day is Sunday, June 16th, and you'll find super savings for super dads with one stop at Meijer. Get a great price on grilling favorites like certified Angus beef boneless ribeye steak. And pick up bulk large sweet cherries for $2.99 per pound. Plus, shoes for the family are buy one, get one for $1. Shop Father's Day deals and the same low Meijer prices online and in-store. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCkinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Davir Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. Well, that could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD is having its summer open house, and you don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of the 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Ooh, what a dinger. Man, I miss our days playing ball. But ever since I turned 40, just thinking about taking a lap around the bases makes me tired.
You ever think lower testosterone is the issue?
What are you saying?
After 40, the body has less testosterone, impacting your drive. That's why guys like me take Nugenix Total T, to keep their energy up.
Nugenix really works for you?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I feel great. Getting up early for workouts. I'm focused, energized, getting things done at work, in the gym. I even feel more passion in my relationship.
How do I give Nugenix a try?
Send them a text for a complimentary bottle.
Text CASH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 321-321. That's CASH to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Well, pool season, it is here. It's time to go see my people over at Affinity Whole Health, the leaders in the testosterone hormone replacement therapy game. They're not just here to optimize your testosterone levels. They're here for weight loss as well. That's right. The Affinity, they can help you lose weight and alleviate the symptoms that come with low T. Affinity, they also offer semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their T treatments. So you can say goodbye to low energy, low libido, and hello to weight loss and muscle gain. That's why I hear my guy Pat McAfee talking about them and how great they are on his show. So you can cruise around shirtless like me, wear tanks like him, do whatever you need to do. So go to feelgreatcolumbus.com. Check them out. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
All right, we head out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Rocky Boiman joins us, ESPN's college football analyst, host of the Eddie and Rocky Show, and he knows what's going on with the Bengals. I said the 411. Bobby mocked me for saying that. But
let me ask Rocky, do you think anybody like younger than you and me knows what the 411 is?
Absolutely not. They have no idea. They don't know what a rotary phone is. They don't know what a VHS player is. They don't know what a CD player is. They don't know what a tape deck is. But yeah, 411. That's a thing of the past. Only for us fossils like you and I, Bobby.
That's why I told Tito when he said that. I'm like, anybody under 40 just got eliminated in that reference. Why would you need to call somewhere to get information? Why wouldn't you just look it up on your phone?
Siri. Ask Siri.
That's Siri.
Right? Tell you everything.
Open up the yellow pages. Do that too if you want to.
There you go.
Rocky, Joe Burrow, obviously, coming back, and I know he talked about his mortality, a little football mortality, and what that means. Concerns you have about Burrow and his health going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it was very introspective, Joe Burrow yesterday, talking with the media before and after practice. I think there's a little bit of a concern just because, look, everybody, your players, coaches, fans would love to hear their player, their star quarterback come out and say, yeah, man, I'm 100% feeling great, I'm letting it rip, and that's not the case. I mean, I think you asked a lot of people, and I did, that were at practice. He don't have the same velocity on his throws right now that you're used to seeing out of Joe Burrow. Now, he says that's because he's kind of himself taking it easy and not letting it rip, and if he had to, he could, that sort of thing. But I think it's a little bit of a concern knowing that, or at least I guess realizing that he's not fully 100% yet, but according to him, he will be by camp.
Is there, the periods of introspection, Rocky, kind of always happen for me, like other athletes, I think, when you start to see things kind of coming to an end, and not that his career is, but this current iteration of the offense, Tyler Boyd is gone, T is most likely gone after this year. I mean, do you feel like that might be some of the impetus of kind of what that moment there of this offseason?
I think that, Bobby, but I also think that, this is like, the third year where he's hurt, you know what I mean? And I just think I think it's wearing on him a little bit. I think it would any player. I mean, it did on me. I'm sure it did on you when you battled injuries and you get to a certain point. And, yeah, I mean, by no way, shape, or form is he done. But I think he's just kind of tired of being in rehab mode. It's like every camp, every mini camp, he's in rehab mode, and he'd love to be just out there running around, just letting it fly and not having to worry about things. But here he is. So, that's just the nature of the position. It comes with the territory. And I think he also feels a little bit of pressure knowing that, I think everybody in Cincinnati loves Joe Burrow. I mean, because he's a fantastic player. But there's always the aside when you talk about Joe Burrow of, yeah, but boy, if he could stay healthy, or man, he's missed a lot of games that they would like to have him available for. So I think that's all part of it. I think it's just a little bit of frustration coming out of him.
Rocky Boiman joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Did the Justin Jefferson signing add more pressure or reduce the pressure on getting a deal done with Jamar Chase?
I don't think it added any pressure to the Bengals. If you know anything about the Bengals organization, they are not influenced, pressured, or forced by anybody. They go on their own terms, and I know a lot of people, they've received a lot of criticism over the years, but they have a way of doing things, and they do it the Bengals way. That's how they do it. They're not trying to be like another organization or, hey, they do it like this, maybe we should. No. It's family business. They've been doing it for decades and decades and decades, and they're going to sign people when they see it fit. They're going to, acquire more players when they see fit, and they're going to go about it their own way. So I think, obviously, from a media standpoint, I'm sure Jamar Chase sees that and says, okay, here we go, I'm up next. I don't see any deal coming for him this year. I think it's a next off-season sort of thing for him, but the Bengals are going to take their own time and do it their own way.
So you don't think that they'll try to get a Chase deal done before camp or before the start of the season if possible?
I would be surprised if they did.
And do you believe that there's any real negotiations or anything going on with T, or is this just basically ride out this season and then figure it out next year?
Yeah, they're riding it out, and this is hey, we're going to enjoy your services for one more year. we hope you come in and tear it up, and we benefit, you sign a monster deal, but it ain't going to be here in Cincinnati. I wish there was a way to do it. I mean, I've brought up here on my show, just the fact that my years with the Colts were always somehow, I don't know how, but found a way to keep Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, and Marvin Harrison and Dallas Clark, right? And we're all four of those guys extremely high paid. They found a way to do it. Maybe the Bengals can't find a way to do it. Maybe I've also made this argument. I don't know why Tee Higgins doesn't say, look, should I just go into free agency and go to some team and get picked up by the Panthers or something, and make a ton of money, or how about make a lot of money, but not quite as much as I would as a top free agent, but I get to catch passes from Joe Burrow for the next 4 years. We have a great team. We have a lot of success. I love it here in Cincinnati. But it takes two to tango, and I think Tee Higgins wants to maximize his contractual situation. But I think the Bengals aren't phased one bit. They're going to say, we'll keep the band together for one more year, and then everyone moves on.
Talking to ESPN color analyst, host of the Eddie and Rocky Show, Rocky Boiman here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And, Rocky, transitioning to college a little bit, a lot's been made, obviously, NIL and transfer portal and all these things. But one of the other topics that's maybe sliding under the radar a little bit is this walk-on count that people have kind of thrown out, and potentially restricting and limiting walk-ons. Now, I mean, you're a Cincinnati St. X guy. You went to Notre Dame, maybe one of the most famous walk-on movies ever with Rudy. Now, how true all that was, that's up for debate. But, I mean, when people talk about limiting walk-ons and their opportunities in college, kind of where do you stand on that, and what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let me just say this. As a college football analyst who's, this time of year I start getting ready, for the season, and I pick up my magazines, my Phil Steele, my Athlon, all these things, and start to get ready. It is a chore figuring out who's on what team and who's in this. I don't know if I realized, but Dylan Gabriel, who's been about 7 different schools, is now at Oregon. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's hard to figure out who's where and who the players are. And you look at a roster, you're like, oh, man, they should be strong because they have this guy and this guy coming back. And then you look like, oh, no, they've jumped to this person. It's an absolute chore to figure out where these guys are. As a fan, I can't imagine how it is. You can't. It's hard to expect who's on your team, and the days of, boy, man, that kid was pretty good last year as a freshman, and played special teams. But this year he should be a solid contributor on defense. No, that's over. It's a completely different deal. So I got my work cut out for me. In terms of the walk-on thing, as college football grows and there's more money and there's players are getting paid, coaches are getting paid, I would feel like there's more resources to take care of walk-ons who are offering their services for essentially, free and, getting to be a part of a team. I don't really know the ins and outs of why that would be, but I guess they have the reasons. I'm not sure why they wouldn't allow a kid that just wants to be there and be a part of the team to do that, to be a part of the team.
Rocky, thanks so much for the time, buddy. We appreciate it. We'll check in again soon, getting hyped for the college. You're right. Hey, your job's an analyst. I don't know how the hell you're going to do it. I don't know how Phil Steele does it. All these different changes makes your job even harder. We appreciate the time out here today.
You got it, guys. We'll talk soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. That was Rocky Boiman, ESPN CFB analyst and host of the Eddie and Rocky Show, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, coming up next, we'll let you know it's got us juiced. Morning juice on the fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching delays on I-70 westbound because of a crash that crews are working to clear up. This is on I-70 westbound just past State Route 310. Expect delays if you're coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction. And I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or two of your first appointment. You might even fine you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
It was spring of 2011. Eco Plumbers were just 4 years old. It's 7-ish p.m., and my sister is at her daughter's soccer game.
And I had my tablet in the bleachers with a Magic Jack USB stick.
Magic Jack was cutting edge back then.
Being able to schedule customers for the next morning service right from the bleachers was awesome.
It was this neat hack that let us provide after-hours, in-house call answering, and scheduling back when no other plumbers did that.
Now we run calls as late as 9 p.m. and we'll answer your call 24/7. You can even schedule online.
We always leverage technology to come through for you when you need us to.
Take EcoFi Clean Checks.
Advanced software, sensors, and tablets show the health and efficiency of your system.
And possible trouble spots.
Before we start the cleaning and maintenance, so you can see the before and after improvements for yourself.
Anyone can use technology,
but only Eco Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians use it to constantly upgrade their ability to serve you.
At geteco.com.
Rothman and Ice.
It was kind of the vibe Clemson was giving off a few years ago, and it's been kind of like a flat Sprite. You got the taste of Sprite, but it don't have that carbonation anymore.
Rothman and Ice, weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
At Hollywood Casino Columbus, you're always in the driver's seat. Don't miss our $50,000 trucker cash giveaway at Hollywood Columbus. Pick between driving off in a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 or $40,000 in Penn slot play or $30,000 in cash. Grand prize awarded on Saturday, June 29th. Earn entries on your slot and table gameplay all month long. For more information, visit HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
USDA Choice T-Bone steaks are on sale. Just $7.99 a pound in the value pack with your card and digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Because comfort keeps us going. So grab your family, your friends, and your Wrangler layers for some fresh air adventures together. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're going to be looking at temperatures on the chilly side heading out the door, but we get up to about 80 degrees as we head into the afternoon hours today. Gets even hotter tomorrow with a high around 85 to 90. And then as we head towards Friday, we are looking at highs in the upper 80s with a 20% chance of pop-up showers or storms. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, and Shark. Was Beamer any good at football?
Centerville's a really good program. So.
It's a good program, yeah, but they also probably have a roster of about 130 kids.
Yeah, I don't know how much he played. I'll have to find. I've never really asked him that.
The fact we don't know probably means he wasn't.
I don't think Beamer was like an all-G-Walk player or anything like that, but I'm sure he was decent.
I love talking about him when he can't
I'm going to tell you what, going through their program is hard. So I have immense respect for him for being able to do the things he did, because talking to AJ about it, it's very similar to what I did growing up. And so I have a lot of respect for his ability to push through that.
Make sure you stick around, because in the final hour of the program, we are going to give away a couple of tickets to Man City versus Chelsea at Ohio Stadium on Saturday, August 3rd. A friendly featuring top global soccer clubs is what it says here. Also, we have John Gerber on at around 8:33, our golf betting expert, host of From the Rough podcast. We'll talk to him, get his take on the U.S. Open. So we got lots of reasons to stick around. Right now, though, let's talk about what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Bobby?
Oh, goodness. What's got me juiced? Had a little conversation with Rocky. Played with him. He was a senior when I was going on my visit to Notre Dame.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, so I got a chance to see him up there, and then played with him briefly in Dallas. Good dude. Does a great job here. Juiced up about today, heading up to New England. Hopefully safe travels and everything will be good. Timely travels more than safe. I mean, I'd rather probably crash than be late at this point in my life.
That's a pretty big statement there.
It speaks more about me than probably other people, and it's fine. I'm good with that. So hopefully we'll get there in a timely manner, but a chance to go up and see Tom Brady's induction in the Ring of Honor in New England. So pretty excited about that. People have asked if Bill was going to be there. I'm like, I don't know. My wife's like, he wouldn't be there? Courtney, you don't think so? I'm like, I honestly don't know. I think that he will, but I'm not positive. But, as I would have skipped this stuff when I was younger.
Right.
As you get old, after I went to Marcus and Zach's induction in the Hall of Fame last year, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, just realizing how important it was and getting a chance to see guys who I've been with. And it was also going to be a chance for me to take my son Cullen here and trying to have my boys, and all my kids, even my daughter, experience some of this stuff and do some of the cool things that thankfully I have a privilege to do. So, yeah, you're going to be talking to, Gerds. I'll be ducking out. The flight I had to get was 9:57, so we'll be there. We'll be on time. We'll be ready to rock. Slide out of here a little early, but excited for that. And then excited for this clip, Shark, from Mr. David Goggins.
You have no fucking idea how great you really are, because you are using such minimal of what you have. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You're lazy. You know exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. The problem is you, and you don't want to fix it.
There you go, Thedoff. That was targeted to you today.
I was saying, I think he was talking to me. I felt like he said Tito at the beginning of that.
He did. You know exactly what to do. It just sucks to go do it.
Right. Lazy.
People have an idea.
Yes.
Figure it out. Reading a book last night, Slight Edge, talking about habits. Like, if you have bad habits, you have good habits. Habits that enhance and habits that extract from you. Feed the ones that enhance you, and then the ones that don't, well, you got to make conscious decisions to change and replace them.
What if it's too late?
It's never too late. It's never too late to turn it all around. Every passing moment, Thedoff, is a chance to turn it all around. What Schlei's got to say, Shark?
When you're down here, there's a lot of Carhartt pants still on the shelf. In Columbus, Ohio, you get to wear it all, man. You get to wear the boots. You get to wear the Carhartt pants. You get to wear the Carhartt long sleeves with the Carhartt sweatshirts and possibly a Carhartt jacket when it's 12 degrees outside with a Carhartt beanie. That's fantastic.
Bob, is this induction into the Ring of Honor? I thought that was usually done, at halftime of.
I think they'll have another one, but for him, I think this is.
But they're having it at the stadium.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no number time. It's an induction to the Ring of Honor, right? They don't retire the number.
I can read you the emails of everything, but it's at the stadium. Yes, I think it's the way fans involved, and I'm sure they'll have another one during the
during the season.
During the season,
did they sell tickets for this, or
I have
people
no idea.
get in for free?
I am not paying to go. Here's the schedule of events. Depart the hotel. They've got shuttles taking us over there. 4:30, 5 p.m. Pre-introduction ceremony, cocktail reception begins. It's going to be wherever this gate. Escort you to the reception. Cocktails and apps will be served. 7 p.m. Hall of Fame induction ceremony begins. And then after that at 9, it concludes. Shuttle you back to the hotel. There you go. Doesn't really say much else other than that.
forward the email to me. Like you just said you would do that. So go ahead and forward it. Make sure all the names of the people listed on there are included in case I want to email some of these former players.
Do you think that they're not? I only have the email that was sent directly to me. It was a portal you had to go in to get all this stuff. Portals on portals, Shark.
Drew.bledsoe@gmail.com. I want to reach out to him.
I am juiced that the Guardians won last night at Great American Ballpark. Stephen Kwan, 3 more hits. He has the most 3-hit games in the major leagues this year. His batting average up to 380. So
380?
380.
That's pretty impressive.
Watch out, Ted Williams. It's like 60 for 158 this season. Stephen Kwan, best leadoff hitter in baseball. And anyway, if Cleveland wins tonight, they retain that cup for the 10th straight year. Also juiced, and I didn't hear this last night when it came out. I saw it on the AP Wire this morning. Rory McIlroy and Erica.
Putting his divorce on hold.
How about that? They're staying together. He said we both realize that the best way to do this is to live life together. So
said he checked out the Denny's here in Columbus. The Tiger recommended.
Is that what it was?
He said, you know what? We're going to try to make this work.
He had Tiger's attorney. And he had a detective deliver the news to Erica. He didn't have the decency to just confront her in person. But anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy. They were the PGA Tour's Camelot marriage.
They were the homecoming king and queen.
Yeah. And then the king and the queen went back to the green, but you can never go back there again. You know what that's from?
No, I don't know what's that from.
Come on, scenes from an Italian restaurant. Billy Joel.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Okay. I was thinking a movie. I thought you were trying to get me with a movie one. Yes, I love Billy Joel song.
I know you don't watch
the scenes
movies.
from the Italian restaurant. That's starring Rick Pitino.
That's
that too. That was a different song, Bob.
The documentary.
Tito, what has you juiced?
The U.S. Open. I am so pumped for the U.S. Open coming up here this week. We'll have live updates tomorrow while we're on the show. Well, not from the course. We'll be giving updates tomorrow. I think they're teeing off like at 6:30 tomorrow morning, if not mistaken. And I'm excited about that. I love watching the U.S. Open.
When you said we, I thought, wait a minute. Did I not get the memo about I'm doing live leaderboard updates?
No, I'm doing that. Live updates this time, and we're not going to be out there. I heard the story, too. I saw the story on CBS Sports about Xander Schauffele, and who I love watching play also. He said he was playing a round of golf with Michael Jordan, and he called it was embarrassing. Schauffele says he was on a roll and started talking smack to MJ, which is something you never do. You don't tug on Superman's cape, right? And
it's curious where that tug was going.
Anyway, Schauffele was talking smack to him, and then Schauffele says he got real quiet and focused, talking about Jordan, and he birdied 15 and 16 without getting any strokes. He beat me straight up. I was like,
come on. That's
what he
embarrassing. He
Schauffele
should be embarrassed. It's one thing if he beat him and he was giving him like 5 strokes or something like that. He got beat straight up. Not only is Jordan not a golfer, but he also is, how old? Jordan's got to be.
In his 60s, right?
Yeah. He's got to be there.
Well, if he was,
beat by a dude who should be playing on the senior tour.
I understand that. Yeah, it should have been 10 years into a senior tour career. Yes, Schauffele said he lost to him straight up in that round. And that just goes to show you Jordan.
The GOAT?
Yes, the GOAT of everything. You don't ever say anything. Now, I remember when I heard the story of Reggie Miller, when he was talking, he was beating his rookie year. They were beating the Bulls in a preseason game. And Chuck Person, I think, told Reggie, hey, you got to talk to Michael, man. You got to talk smack to him and stuff. And then Jordan comes out in an exhibition game, finishes with 40 points, and Reggie had 12. And Jordan said to the effect of, don't ever talk to Black Jesus that way, which is outstanding. I love that. So anyway, that's Gubby Juice. U.S. Open is Schauffele losing to Michael Jordan straight up in golf. All right, coming up next. What's the 411? We will give you, it's a big night in Big D, and we'll tell you about all of that in the re-rack next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Wednesday to you. Right now, we are watching delays on I-70 westbound. Coming in from the far east side, there is a crash in those westbound lanes of I-70 just past the 310 exit. Expect to be slow moving coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 mailed performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to MaryHaven.com today.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a Father's Day gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad. He's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. For Father's Day, upgrade his gear with the Husky 270-piece mechanics tool set from the Home Depot. Just $99. Perfect in the hands of a pro or a dad. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons?
This does not bode well for the car or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Battle of Ohio Game 1 goes to the Guardians. At Great American Ballpark, Josh Naylor hit his 17th homer and drove in 3 runs as Cleveland beat Cincinnati 5-3. Tyler Freeman made 2 great catches in center field in the first inning that limited the Reds to 1 run and helped Tristan McKenzie pick up his first win in nearly 2 months. He's 3-3 on the season. Emmanuel Clase worked the 9th for his 20th save. The Clippers topped Iowa 3-2 in front of nearly 11,000 fans at Huntington Park. Jose Tena drove in 2 runs for Columbus. In football, Browns receiver Amari Cooper was a no-show at mandatory minicamp. Coach Kevin Stefanski said it was an unexcused absence, leading to speculation that Cooper is in a contract dispute with the team. The Sports Center is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, a no-risk, all-rewards path to real weight loss. If you're not happy with the results in the first week, get 100% of your money back. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Beamer is tweeting about Formula One.
Oh, hells yes.
Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help.
This is one twisted mother.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Shark, Bobby Carpenter. Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Shark. Bobby Carpenter, Shark, Tito. All with you here today until 9 o'clock.
You know what I think you should do? You got a double of Tito's today. That's what it is.
A double of Tito's is what it is. There we go. Abby tweeted out to us that if people aren't going to get the 411 reference, they won't get my Jim Croce badly rebranded Don't Talk About Superman's capes from one of his songs in the early 70s. So, by the way, my favorite Muhammad Ali was the Black Superman. He had a great song, too, about that. Muhammad, the Black Superman, right? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
That's right.
And I remember your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see.
Muhammad Ali.
That's what it was.
He floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. He moves
Shark,
like
we're gonna get
Black
shut down
Superman
again.
And calls to the other guys, I'm Ali. Catch me if you can.
That's so good,
great
Shark.
song.
It's so good.
I remember I heard a story about Ali when he was on a plane one time, and the flight attendant was walking by, and told me.
Did he drink 50 beers on a cross-country
He did not do
flight?
that. He did not do a Wade Boggs. It was Wade Boggs is that
Wade
one.
Boggs,
But flight attendant walks by and says he has to put his seatbelt on. And she looks at him and says, shoot, Superman don't need no seatbelt.
Exactly. Yeah.
And her response was, Superman don't need no plane. So
I respect. Hey, you know what?
That's pretty good.
Nice snapback on her with that.
I thought that was pretty good also. All right, let's do this. Can I give away the tickets now, Shark?
Yes.
It's now a good time.
First hit the re-rack, and then you can give away the tickets.
Fine, I'll hit the re-rack first, then we'll give away the tickets. Here we go.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, we've got some tickets to give away. The Premier League's champion, Manchester City, and Chelsea FC will face off Saturday, August 3rd at Ohio Stadium. The match between the rivals is part of the 2024 FC Series, a collection of friendly matches across the United States featuring top global soccer clubs. Winner gets 2 tickets to see the match at Ohio Stadium on Saturday, August 3rd. Tickets are on sale through Ticketmaster. Caller number 4 right now, 614-821-9710. That's 614-821-9710. Caller 4 will get a pair of tickets. Talk to Shark, and he will award those to you if you are the correct caller. All right, Bobby, re-rack time. Guardians beat the Reds 5-3 yesterday. They'll play again tonight at 7:10 at Great American Ballpark. Tanner Bybee for Cleveland squares off with Nick Lodolo. Some good news for the Reds. Noelvi Marte played his first game in a rehab assignment down in Louisville, had a pair of hits. The infielder is still serving his 80-game suspension for steroid use. He can rejoin the Reds on June 27th. Marte was a big part of that trade. He was the main part of the trade that the Reds received back from Seattle in July of 2022 when they shipped off Luis Castillo. He hit .316, had a .366 on-base percentage, .456 slugging percentage in 35 games with the Reds last season. He's 22 years old. This could be big for the Reds, but only until the end of the season, because if they go to the postseason, he cannot play.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. The fact that Major League Baseball, we're going to suspend you 80 games.
Right.
And then when you return, you can't play in the postseason.
Yep.
Just suspend them 90. Suspend them the whole year. The split suspension is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Yes.
But you know what? What else would I expect from Major League Baseball? That's honestly par for the course for them. By the way, we were talking earlier, Shark, about the limiting of walk-ons. It's been a conversation now with the NCAA. And they talked about the SEC meetings. Big Ten just had their meetings and no one knew about out in secret in Los Angeles. Need to do a better job of bringing these up to the forefront. Maybe not put them in a remote outpost, put them somewhere, get the coaches, the ADs, get everybody there, have some conversations, find a way to bring a little more to it. Reach out to Tony Petitti about that so they can get some of this information out in a little more timely manner. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Wednesday.
Right.
This was over the weekend.
Yep.
And I'm just learning about this. Bo was talking about it yesterday, too. And we mentioned a number of walk-ons here, like guys who I'd played with. We talked about Rudy, Xavier Johnson being a notable walk-on here that's had a ton of success and impactful for the team as well with wins and losses.
Right.
But a guy who I'm actually going to be heading up there with today, Nate Ebner, who walked on at Ohio State.
That's right.
Yeah. From, he's here from, Hilliard, Dublin, played, I believe it. Hilliard Davidson, he played rugby, but walked on at Ohio State, played here for a couple years, was drafted, and then played, 10 years in the NFL, won 3 Super Bowls. For a guy that walked on.
Olympian too, right?
Olympian as well. Now, Nate did punk out this year and told me that his Achilles was hurting and he was not going to try to reprise his role and make a run at a 2024 Olympics. I told him he was being selfish. So do whatever it takes, toward all shots every day. When else are you going to get a chance to do this? Because his first Olympic foray, he was still playing for the Patriots.
Right.
And he goes, I literally flew back the day after the game. Our final game there. Yeah. And, they were in their pool was like the pool of death. And it's like the 2 teams that they had lost to, it's like we should have beaten the one. He goes, and the other one won the gold medal. I mean, it was just crazy. They should have potentially medaled, which would have put him in rarefied air, having an Olympic medal and Super Bowl rings. But I go, this is your chance. This is your moment. So he couldn't do it. Now, he did basically have 2 massive knee surgeries, but he was recovered from them, looking good again. and I thought he'd be able to do it. But Nate Ebner, there would be no story of Nate Ebner if there were no walk-ons. And his story is a tremendous one about how he decided to join Ohio State. He has a book out about it.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he wrote a book a number of years back about it. It's really good. We'll have to have him on again now that he's retired and back here. But there wouldn't be a guy like that. So there's just so many different stories that you hear about guys that started out as walk-ons and then go on to have these careers that are tremendous in college and then sometimes even in the NFL.
And I know there's a small percentage. Look, I know that very few walk-ons had the impact or any kind of impact at all. Even in college football and certainly in the NFL and going forward. We talked about some of the ones that stood out to us with the Ebner one, with Dallas Clark, with TJ Watt. Like those are, I know there are exceptions, but it's still a damn cool story.
The exception makes the rule fun.
It does, yes.
So the point is we understand that it's not something that's it's not something that's readily available. It's not a plentiful story.
Right.
It's not bounties of these all over the place. It's the fact that it is rare, and that's what makes it cool. And that's what makes it tremendous. But it isn't so rare that it never happens. It just makes those unique times fantastic. So I'm a huge advocate and proponent of it. I said, they don't need to have limitless walk-ons, maybe. I mean, you could find some responsible number.
Right.
Possibly. It's 20, 25, 30 maybe.
Yeah.
You're probably not getting much over 30, but 30 I'd say is good. 25, okay. Anything under 20, I'm that's probably not enough.
Right.
So, I don't know. They need to figure that out, though.
NBA resumes tonight. Celtics in Dallas at 8:30. Boston leads 2-1. NHL will be on Thursday. Florida at Edmonton. Panthers lead that series 2-0. USA Brazil tonight in a friendly at 7 o'clock in Camping World Stadium, Orlando, Florida. The USA has lost 11 straight to Brazil, dating back to 1998. USA is 1-18-0 all time against Brazil.
It's not good.
Not good.
I'll tell you this. We found out, because you're a big fan of friendlies, not friendlies.
Yes.
They closed that friendlies on 23 North. I don't know if you saw that in the chat.
RIP that friendly's in. It's been a long time since I've been out there.
That's part of the reason they closed.
Yes, because I did not solicit them any longer. Steel Chambers has a new team. So he went undrafted, signed by the Lions, and was released by the Lions, but the Patriots picked him up on waivers. So how soon will he get out there? How soon does that stuff usually happen? Do you know? Or
fly him out right away.
So you might see him out there when you're in that area. I don't know about the current
players and what they'll be doing for this tonight with the Tom Brady Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame, New England Hall of Fame ceremony.
Right.
But there's a decent chance he might be up there, and that was part of the reason I was looking forward to going.
I remember saying that. Yeah, Detroit.
Going to Detroit to see their sitting meetings with him and see what's going on.
I still think he can play a productive role on an NFL team.
Oh, he's one of my favorites. There's a place in the NFL for Steele. I told him that. He's a smart guy, athletic. He'll be okay.
Yeah, so that news also. But going back to the NBA, we're going to see if Kristaps Porzingis can play tonight for Boston. He's got the rare injury. Way too many words to be described, but it's a knee injury type thing, and we'll see if he's going to play tonight.
High knee calf type situation. I mean, he's running like he's a little peg. He's got a little peg there.
Yes,
it's not a fluid run.
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good out there. Looks like Tiger when he walks at the U.S. Open and stuff like that, when he was, just coming back and whatnot.
Yeah, but Tiger's almost 50 and has had a broken leg, a bad back. He's had all kinds of issues.
Right. And then for Dallas, Luka Doncic, he was questionable, had to take a pain injection shot in his chest to play in Game 2. Not sure on his status.
Now we know what it means.
What do you mean?
How much it means for you to play.
Play in that game. Yeah, you're right. He's in that game. And huge game. Look, no one's going to come back for 3-0 series, I don't believe, in either side if they fall behind. So these are true must-wins.
So here's the thing. If you're the Celtics, do you rest Porzingis and try to get him healthy for maybe 4 or 5? Or do you just go all in and try to give him the coup de grace?
I think you go in and I think you play him tonight off the bench like you have been. But, and see, because their next game, then they play on Friday. Then after that, they're off until Monday when they'll come back to Boston if necessary on that one. But I would play him tonight. If he re-aggravates it and they win, that's fine. But if Ray gets hurt again and they lose, then you sit them out on Friday. That will give you from Wednesday to Monday for them to recover from this when you go back to Boston if that happens. But
give them momentum, man. Got to be careful. That backcourt's pretty darn good for Dallas. They're going to be going back home.
Yep.
Going to be rocking.
Dallas favored by 2.5 in that game this evening.
Ticking up. Rothman said he saw it at a bucket yesterday. So
Rothman's always got a different line than I have. That's all. I mean, Rothman's got connections that I don't have as far as insiders on the betting
absolutely.
lines.
I mean, that's him. He's been in the gambling game for years.
He's been there for a while. All right,
notice that's why he walks with a limp.
I always thought it was a pimp limp. I didn't know it was a gambling limp.
It was.
But apparently that's what it is.
Not a pimp. It's a pipe limp is what it is.
It's a pipe limp is what he's got, not the pimp limp. Coming next, one of the most innovative coaches in college football history might never get into the College Football Hall of Fame. That's next on Morning Juice, 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, still watching delays on the far east side on I-70 westbound, coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area due to a crash from earlier this morning near the 310 exit. Also on the west side on I-70 eastbound, the right shoulder is blocked in those eastbound lanes just beyond Wilson Road. Expect delays over in that area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
With Tim Hortons 2 hot breakfast sandwiches for $6 deal, you can mix and match your favorites. Mix and match between savory sausage or naturally hickory smoked bacon. Mix and match between an English muffin or flaky biscuit. Any two served with a freshly cracked egg and melted cheese. You can even mix and match how you share it. One for you, one for them, two for them, or two just for you. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. It's time for Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Single item at regular price. Modifications and tax extra. Additional terms apply.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Roof leaks and damage can ruin your business and your reputation. Property management pros trust Legacy Roofing Services, Ohio's leader in commercial roof repair, replacement, and ongoing maintenance. At Legacy, our reputation for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent roofing services for commercial buildings can solve your roofing problems before they become roofing nightmares. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
We go to war for you.
Every day people get into an accident. Every day people's lives change. Every day the insurance giants give you crumbs and call it dinner. I'm attorney Robert Scherger. Let us go to war for you.
WarForYou.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Hi, Elmo. Why am I saying hi to myself? Hi, Timmy. Elmo, come over and play.
Sure, Elmo.
Man, how do we take this segment, make it even worse? We're doing it.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180, with a buzz term for you. GLP-1. The buzz part doesn't mean GLP-1 isn't important. Quite the opposite. GLP-1 is a crucial hormone produced in our gut that regulates blood sugar and appetite. Basically, it helps control our weight. The buzz is because pharmaceutical companies are positioning medications as your only treatment option. But that's not true. Losing weight with Awaken 180 already supports GLP-1 function, and we're now introducing GLP-1 Balance. GLP-1 Balance by Awaken 180 addresses the root causes of weight issues by focusing on nutrition, gut health, and sleep. By addressing these areas, your body naturally balances GLP-1 levels, making weight loss easier and more sustainable without lifelong medications or side effects. If you're curious about GLP-1 Balance and how it can work for you, talk with us. Find us online at awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Every year, Adult Protective Services receives thousands of reports of elder abuse, exploitation, and neglect in Ohio. When a report is received, Adult Protective Services can check in and provide help if needed. If someone you know is showing signs of elder maltreatment, Don't hesitate to call 855-OHIO-APS. Let's work together to help every Ohioan age safely.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're looking at plenty of sunshine, high 79. Tonight we're dropping back down to the upper 50s to lower 60s. Should be a dry night and then a dry Thursday. Lots of sunshine again tomorrow. It will be hotter with highs in the mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. Next segment, we're going to have John Gerber on, our golf betting expert, talk about the U.S. Open. He's got some insight on that.
Get you a little... It's just some numbers, make some cash on Father's Day.
That's got to do that. So one of the most innovative coaches in college ball history is Mike Leach, the late Mike Leach. And
late, great Mike Leach.
When the college football, did you ever meet Leach? Ever come across Mike Leach?
Well, we played against him in 2002 in Texas Tech.
Okay.
I don't think... So amazing. Their little slot receiver. They had this little white guy that they would run on these deep over routes.
Right.
And like we worked on stopping him all the time. Like he's going to get deep. He's going to settle up. They'll throw it right here before the numbers, right on the top of the numbers. And that guy, I'm like, gosh, who is this little guy?
Right.
I mean, this is all he can do. And that little guy was Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, yeah. Yep.
So that's amazing. Yeah, that's the only time I think I ever really crossed his path. I believe so. I don't think in the media I ever interviewed him because I would have remembered that. I do have a great Mike Leach story, though, because in between his times coaching, between like Texas Tech and then Washington State, he worked with Sirius XM. And so I had friends that I've worked with there now who were telling me a story because sometimes come down, I'd be working out or something. I'd be after a shower and I had my shirt off. We had the Zoom on, so like internally you could see what was going on, but no one would see it over the air.
Sure.
Whatever, And they're like, oh, we're getting like the full Mike Leach show today? Like, what do you mean? Like, well, Mike Leach, when he was working here, he lived down in, Key West.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Key West.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very lively scene for adults.
It is, yes.
And Mike Leach, kind of a naturalist, if you will, and he had a plunge pool behind. And he would sit outside with his Comrex on the computer and everything and his Zoom up. And he would get done and he would just do like naked plunges into his pool during the commercial breaks. Oh, yeah. I'm like, that's tremendous. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not really surprised. It seems pretty on brand for him.
Was Gene Feckety in there with him?
Gene Feckety was not.
Not, okay.
Although I did talk to one of my friends over at Ohio State about that with Gene Feckety and about him getting in the hot tub and he'd hang out with us before the game. He was in his 70s and he passed out. And then you remember the guy was one of the trainers there and Gene's son called randomly. He's talking to him. He's like, is my dad still coming in and working out? He said, he gets in the hot tub with guys. He's like, he's on a pacemaker. He can't be in the hot tub. I'm like, probably blood thinners too.
Yeah.
I was like, really, the only thing he wasn't doing in there was like drinking champagne.
Mike Leach passed away back in 2022. At the
I
age of
understand
61.
this rule that you're going to tell me, and this is unprompted because, there's got to be some limitations to things.
Right.
We have to live in a society with some sort of laws and boundaries. But man, I don't know.
But they don't enforce it.
What is
across? Okay, the rule is you can't get into the College Football Hall of Fame as a head coach if you don't have a winning percentage of at least 600.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so Mike Leach did not have that. His was something like, it was 596 is what his winning percentage was.
So Rick Neuheisel, who I also work on XM with, Rick's a great guy. He, due to the fact that they took away some of his wins, he no longer qualifies for that. And he's like, Mike Leach doesn't. He goes, I mean, I'll champion for myself, but I'll champion more for Mike Leach to get in on this.
Right. It's interesting because there are people. So it's the career minimum 601 percentage was required for induction, but they've had that rule since 1951. But there's been times they have not enforced it.
Really?
Tuss McGlory was inducted in 1962. His winning percentage was 490.
Not even 500.
Not even 500. He coached for 40 years from 1915 to 1955 in some way, shape, or fashion. So they've had situations before where they've let people in.
They call those exemptions, Thidoff.
Well, yeah, I get it. It's exemption, but still, since 2005, 2 coaches have been inducted with sub 600 records. Doug Porter was 155, 110, and 583.
Where did he coach?
Let's see here. Porter was at Mississippi Valley State, Howard, and Fort Valley State from 61 to 96. He was 94 years old when he passed away earlier this week, or maybe last week. Anyway, Willie Jeffries, got in with a 587 winning percentage at South Carolina State, Howard, and Wichita State. He was the first black coach in FBS when he took on Wichita State, the Wichita State job in 1979. So, look, I understand. And by the way, Archie Griffin is like he's the chairman of the final, the honors court, or what it's called. It's called where they do the determine who's going to go in. But there's other things to these rules they have.
You just throw that in like you took a subtle shot at Archie.
Just say I was
blame him for this situation.
No, I'm not trying to blame Archie at all. But Joe Montana is ineligible. Dak Prescott,
Why?
Eli Manning, because they were never first-team All-Americans chosen by outlets approved by the National Football Foundation. So they can't get in. So Joe Montana cannot get in to the College Football Hall of Fame because of this rule.
Neither can I.
But neither can you, because you were never first-team All-American, right?
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
So anyway, O.J. Simpson's still in there. Billy Cannon's still in there, but whatever.
I mean, I love that. Why not? On the 30th anniversary of the death of Nicole and Ron.
Yeah, I know. So anyway.
Did you go put some flowers on OJ's grave, Thidoff?
OJ. What a... no, and honestly,
put a glass of orange juice on there for
glass
him?
of orange juice. That's right. I've still got, Shark's got some old Sports Illustrated. I look at them sometimes. You'll see these ads for OJ in there,
swimsuit editions.
Not swimsuit editions. No, I don't have any of those. But what the ads he used to be Mr. America, everybody. The hurt stuff.
The documentary O.J. Simpson Made in America is one of the great documentaries. Because I was talking when that came out. I was working still with Rothman, and so Matty Ice was our producer, and he, he's like my younger brother's age. And so, I was old enough to remember him doing broadcasting and being a predominant figure, like in American sports and in American society. And, all the Hertz commercials, him running through, hurdling over stuff.
Right, yes.
All those things. And so I was trying to explain that to Matt about all those things. And then I go, when you watch the documentary, you'll really understand it. They did a good job of framing it for people who are like younger than 40 who probably wouldn't know that.
Yeah, he certainly. And by the way, it's one of those the Bronco chase is like one of those I know where I was moments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like where you knew exactly where you were at. I can still picture
that Nuggets.
No, it was Rockets Knicks NBA Finals game.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching it. I was like, put the game back on.
They put the split screen on that one.
He's like, put that in the small box.
Right.
He's like, unless they're going to do something here.
Right. Which obviously did not. Ended up, obviously going back there. What do you got there, Shark?
Well, did you ever see the 30 for 30 on that day?
Yes.
Where it was Arnold Palmer's last round at the U.S. Open. He didn't make the cut on a Friday. It was the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Messier holding the trophy up. And the Knicks Rockets. And, of course, OJ, it feels like there were a couple of things. It was a very historic day, and OJ's Bronco chase topped them all.
Yep.
Slow speed chase.
Yeah.
Which was not admissible in court.
Oh, yeah. So lots of mistakes made in that trial. But coming up next, he's our golf betting expert, host of From the Rough podcast on Fantasy Sports, DSP Media, writer for Golf Central Magazine. Bobby, get out of here. John Gerber joins us next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching some small delays on I-70 westbound on the far east side because of a crash from earlier this morning. Expect delays near the 310 exit coming in from the Etna-Pataskala area. Also on the west side on I-70 eastbound, the right shoulder is blocked off in those eastbound lanes just beyond Wilson Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Hey, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Sale. Hello. Save up to 50% on outdoor furniture and indoor essentials and have your best summer.
Oh, how about storage for my inflatable flamingos?
We've got you covered. Let's turn your space into a summer haven with space for birds.
Awesome.
Visit us in store from June 12th to July 9th or at IKEA-USA.com/midsummer. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/midsummer for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and I want you to picture this. Cannonballs into the lake, s'mores at the fire pit, sleeping under the stars. Well, that could be you when you visit my friends at RCD RV. RCD is having its summer open house, and you don't want to miss it. Huge RV savings all month long in June. New travel trailers as low as $14,995. The area's widest selection, over 600 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. Start your summer adventure at RCD RV. Visit one of the 3 Central Ohio locations or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Diamonds Direct has done it again. This month only, get ready for an offer you can't resist. Buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right, a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet will not last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and we're proud to serve our customers for over 40 years, where a name means a great deal. So now it's time to drop those prices so you can save big. All bulk mulchers are now $10 off a yard. I told you, it's time to save. Visit us online at ohiomulch.com.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
All right, people, let's get this meeting started.
Where are the chairs?
Gone. Research shows standing meetings are quicker.
What research is that?
Topic 1. CDW helped us deploy Mac supercharged by Apple Silicon for the way we work now. So how's their speed?
Fast.
Battery life?
Long.
Cyber threat protection?
Strong.
Ownership costs?
Low.
Great. This meeting
adjourned. Wow, that was fast.
Yep, that's the research.
With Mac configured by CDW, a solution that works for everyone isn't just possible, it's powerful. Find out more at cdw.com/getmac.
The Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tito. Mark the Shark behind the glass over there. By the way, John from London won the soccer tickets that we gave away earlier this hour to the Man City-Chelsea match coming up, the friendly, on August 3rd at Ohio Stadium on a Saturday there. So tickets on sale through Ticketmaster for that. Go check that out. Should be a great time out there. And now we go out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, and we're joined by he's a good friend of our show, Fan Sports Sunday. We have him on every week, and now we're going to have him on here, golf betting expert, host of From the Rough podcast on FanStream Sports, DSP Media, and writer for Golf Central Magazine, John Gerber. Gerber, it's U.S. Open week, and first, let me get this. What is your record this year? Like, what is your head-to-head record this year? 'Cause you do the head-to-head bets in addition to all your, like, wins and top 10s and top 20s guys you're going to pick. But you do the head-to-heads for Saturdays and Sundays usually. What's your record there so far this year?
Yeah, good morning, JT. Yeah, it's definitely U.S. Open weekend. It's a great week. I'm down here in Dallas right now, melting. It's a spring day here at about 110 degrees. So definitely going to sit inside and work this afternoon and get this right. But head-to-head record this year is 40-18-6. We usually have a lot more head-to-heads, but with not playing the match play this year, it kind of hurt that. We had a winner last year with Sam Burns, outright winner in our head-to-heads. We got over the positive for the year in profit with 2 winners last week in the top 10 with Sepp Straka and another top 20 bet there. So looking real strong going to the U.S. Open with some positive vibes for sure.
And I know you talk about, and you've done this for years, and you've got, you talk to a lot of people within the tour. You've got a lot of insider knowledge with that. Obviously, a lot of course knowledge, too, as well, with these courses they play each week. But as you are, I know you say, like, it's sometimes Scheffler. You don't have Scheffler on your card a lot just because it's really tough to make money on Scheffler, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's winning. He's having a year. I don't want to compare him to Tiger, but winning 5 times this year, certainly. And going into each tournament that he's playing in, he has the shortest odds since Tiger in such a long run. So as much as he might win the golf tournament, we always look at value. Is there value with Scottie Scheffler when it comes to golf betting? I mean, 3-1 on your money is not a lot of value when you try to pick him as outright winners. And certainly when he has head-to-head matchups per day, unless he has a terrible day, you really can't make any money. So it's more of, looking down the board, seeing value as opposed to just picking a guy like Scottie Scheffler that seems to be winning, one every other tournament for him. So we have to always look down the board and see some value.
He's at Jay Gerber, PGA Pro on Twitter. If you want to follow him there, he puts all his picks. What I like about what Gerb does, he puts all his picks out there for free. Everything's out there. He's out in the open about his record and all that stuff, and tells you, he'll tell you, like he just told us, what his record is of head-to-heads and everything else he does. He'll pick some guys he thinks could win. He'll pick a ham sandwich, somebody with longer odds, and then some guys in the top 10, some guys in the top 20. When you're putting together your card for this week, give me a couple of guys you think who really could win this golf tournament.
Wow, that's a good question. It's still a little early. We're going to have the final card later on in the show, 5 o'clock Eastern on From the Rough podcast. But, yeah, it's still a little early. I see some great value down the board. As you said, we'll pick 3 outright winners. We'll pick a long shot, 2 top 10s and top 20s. But there's a guy that I really like down the board that you can get some good value. I'm not sure if he can win the tournament. His form hasn't been great, but certainly you can get him in that top 10 and top 20. I like Russell Henley a lot this week. You can get him at 80-1 to outright winner. He might be our ham sandwich. We won't, have a top 20 that's the same as an outright winner. But Russell Henley, with the type of golf course that this is, he's, if you combine his driving accuracy with his short game, he's number 1 on the PGA Tour. That's a stat that you combine now and see. I really like him. There's a guy that's an up-and-coming star that we've really been touting for the last couple of years. He kind of fits that mold of the Chris Goddard and Taylor Montgomery, and he's playing well. I like Davis Thompson a lot. He's a young kid on the PGA Tour, played pretty solid last week at the Memorial. Not saying they're completely different golf courses, but not saying that can transfer over. But playing in this type of environment, playing on Bermuda grass, being from that South Carolina, Georgia area, I like Davis Thompson down the board, maybe getting in that top 20. Right now he's plus 850 to finish in the top 20. So I have a lot of high expectations for Davis Thompson. But some other guys that maybe have a chance in shorter odds, Ludwig Aberg, however you want to call him, it doesn't matter. The guy can really play some golf. And I like Sepp Straka a lot. He's coming into some really good form. Again, we had him last week to finish in the top 10. So look at those guys that maybe can fit in that card, maybe win, and maybe get in top 20 or top 10.
I know, Gerber, when you look at this stuff, you obviously evaluate the player, the course, the weather, all those things. With regards to the weather, is there a golfer that, based on the weather forecast, you look at and think, you know what, this guy might be a decent play as well, because it looks like it's going to be pretty decent conditions out there, right?
Yeah, certainly, and we fit that in the card, and that's one of our variables that we do. We kind of put in 12 or 15 variables. Obviously, past success. Grass is a big deal. Most people don't think it is, but it's a really big deal in terms of how these guys play, how they feeling, how's their personal life. There's a lot of variables that goes into this. It's just not, hey, I'll look at this guy and think he is. But I'll tell you a guy that and we talked about this on Sunday, is Colin Morikawa is playing fantastic, and he's going to be some short odds, but he could give you a little bit of fool's gold. He's the highest spin player on the PGA Tour, so when he gets windy, he doesn't have a lot of success. And the reason I say that, his British Open win, typically it's very windy there, but that year that he won, it didn't blow at all. So look at a guy like, looking at the wind conditions, if you like Colin Morikawa, he's about 18-1 right now, so I don't really like him, but he's a guy that fits that variable in terms of if it's windy, we won't touch him no matter how well he is playing. So we'll look at those wind conditions and see how that is if we're going to put him on our card.
John Gerber joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline, host of From the Rough podcast on FanScreen Sports and DSP Media, writer for Golf Central Magazine. Gerb, you can't talk about a major without talking about Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods said he feels strong enough to contend, and I think he said that before in other majors, and then it ends up not working out for him. Does this course, I know we talk about the difficulty he has walking some of these courses. How does this course rate as far as walkability goes? With the weather being decent, I would think that would help him out. But the layout of the course, is it advantageous to Tiger competing?
Yeah, certainly it is. It's one of the flattest U.S. Opens that they've played in a long time. The last few years they've played in some pretty tough terrain. But this is a flat golf course, with the exception of kind of walking up the greens. It's a pretty flat walk, same as what the British Open is going to be. And it didn't surprise me that he did decide to play. But if he's going to have a chance to make the cut, I don't know if he can really contend. I just don't think his game and his short game is sharp enough. I think he can hit it fairly long enough and straight enough. I don't think his short game is going to be sharp enough to contend, but he might be able to make the cut just due to the fact that he is, it's not really a taxing walk for him. So yeah, I mean, if he was going to pick a spot to play a U.S. Open, this is certainly one that he could have some good success.
John Rahm withdrew with a toe infection. These one of the rare tournaments we get to see anymore where all of the top players get together from the Live Tour and from the PGA. And Rahm's he hasn't been great this season, has he?
No, it certainly hasn't, and it doesn't hurt my feelings that John Rahm's not playing in the U.S. Open. Certainly after his comments that he had a few weeks ago at the PGA Championship, thinking that he's still a member of the PGA Tour, it certainly didn't rub those guys the right way. Just some of the comments that he makes, it just seems like he's just kind of out of it. And, I don't know if he had a foot injury or he just didn't want to deal with the media this week. But John Rahm, he hasn't played well. He hasn't really contended in a live event. Maybe that's what that $800 million does for you. You don't have that grind like Dustin Johnson kind of fits in that category. But yeah, it doesn't hurt my feelings that he's in. He wouldn't have been my pick anyways. I just think he lacks the competition when it comes to something like that, especially in a major. So he's not going to be missed in the U.S. Open this week, not at all.
How much do you pay attention to the pairings and the guys people who are playing with each other that might play well or might be friends with a certain guy or might not like a certain guy he's playing with? How much does that play into anything you do?
Not a lot. I mean, these guys are professionals, and they're kind of in their own little world anyways. There's very few guys out there that these guys don't like to play with. There's a few. I won't mention them on air, but they know who they are, and they see a pairing that they kind of cringe. But in a major championship, these guys are so focused. Something like the U.S. Open, and it is a true qualifying event. It is an open. You could probably eliminate, half of the field just because of the amateurs and the guys that qualify. It's very I hate to say it that way, but in the betting aspect, you can really eliminate half of the field when it comes to that. So, Yeah, when it comes to the pairings, these guys are pros, man, and the amateurs might get a little bit nervous if they make the cut, but they do a pretty good job of pairing each other and knowing kind of who likes to, I don't say like to play with who, but who can maybe draw the biggest crowds and have the biggest impact on the tournament.
And outside of the fact it was a very strong field, there's nothing really about Memorial that gets you ready for the U.S. Open, right? I mean, it's totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Murfield last week play a little firmer and faster. I knew it was the wind blew a little bit and the rough was high up there, but Jack liked to score at 8 under par, and he firmed the place up and he firmed the greens up. But when the fairways were soft like that, I think he liked to have it a little bit firmer. But it played in terms of maybe the green speeds a little bit. It will be similar to the U.S. Open this week. But other than that, the terrain, the grass, they switched down there at Pinehurst after the 2014 U.S. Open back to Bermuda. They had it at Bentgrass, and that is a big deal for some of these guys, especially in the chipping and the way the grass and the grain grows. But, the only thing that's comparative is, good golf is good golf for these guys, but I wouldn't really take too much in terms how the golf course played.
On Sunday, we had Mecca Don on Fan Sports Sunday, Carl Road legend. This is another Carl Road legend, John Gerber, who is joining us here on the Bryant Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Gerber, your picks out. We'll make sure to broadcast them. I'll talk about them tomorrow in the air as well. Best of luck to you, and thanks for all the time today, buddy.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Have a great U.S. Open week.
You bet. John Gerber. Follow him on the X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, @JGerberPGA Pro. All his picks are out there for free, and he puts his stats out there, tells you exactly what he thinks, and you can follow him out there, and he updates them on Saturday and Sunday with head-to-heads. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap things up. We'll reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching a slight delay on the ramp from I-71 northbound to 70 eastbound in the downtown area because of a disabled vehicle. Also watching still some trickling delays on the far east side on I-70 westbound right near 310. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar, whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line.
Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, enjoy buy one, get one free deals on select items from Entenmann's, Wonder Bread, Vita Coco Water, and more with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bishop and Friends.
The notion that non-revenue and revenue sports should all be under the same umbrella. No, football makes the money. The men's basketball tournament makes the money.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
New 2024, up to 72 months ARIA, and 7/8/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But these low interest rates won't last long. Lock in your 0% financing at Reichert Nissan. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Because comfort keeps us going. So grab your family, your friends, and your Wrangler layers for some fresh air adventures together. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're going to be looking at temperatures on the chilly side heading out the door, but we get up to about 80 degrees as we head into the afternoon hours today. Gets even hotter tomorrow with a high around 85 to 90. And then as we head towards Friday, we are looking at highs in the upper 80s with a 20% chance of pop-up showers or storms. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Final segment of the program. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Tito. Mark the Shark back there behind the glass. I want to give a thanks to our guests. Rocky Boiman had him earlier today, ESPN CFB analyst, host of the Eddie and Rocky Show. Talked about the Bengals and college football there. And also John Gerber in the last segment, our golf betting expert, host of From the Rough podcast. I just saw this, Sharky, that Rothman put out, Anthony Rothman, host of Rothman and Ice. Wishing my boy Brad Larson congrats. He's back behind the bench, assistant coach for the Flames. So Brad Larson back in the game as far as coaching goes. So good for him on that one. And then let's reveal the fan pool here now. And Shark, I did this one with you in mind.
Is that right?
Yes, it's totally with you in mind.
Was this like last night in bed? You were thinking about me or what?
Actually, yes. I was thinking about you with my laptop next to me. I thought this would be a really good fan poll question. Today's fan poll, 971thefan.com. Does your fandom follow the player to a new team? 2 choices. Yes, love that guy. No, he's dead to me. Because I thought about you with Kyrie and with Francisco Lindor, both guys you loved when they were with Cleveland teams. When they left, did you still root for / follow them the same way, or were they dead to you?
Oh, boy. Sometimes we have different circumstances. Mm-hmm. Like my favorite baseball player of all time is Buddy Bell.
Okay.
And the day in 1978 when the then Cleveland Indians traded Buddy Bell, 27-year-old Buddy Bell, to the Texas Rangers for 30-year-old Toby Harrah, I shed a tear.
Okay.
And I rooted for Buddy the rest of his career. He didn't ask to be traded. He didn't want to be traded. Jim Thome, I was a big Thome fan. He left for more money. And, guys, that's their right as free agents. That is their right. So I never really held that against Thome or Albert Bell or Manny Ramirez. Kyrie was a little different because his contract wasn't up. He wasn't a free agent. He just begged out. Rubbed me the wrong way, but you know what? I'm rooting for Kyrie. I've aged. I've mellowed with age.
Isn't that funny how we do that?
Yeah. I'm rooting for Kyrie in this series. I don't want to see him fail. It bothers me that he played 2 bad games.
Yeah, it's funny as we get older, we certainly have different perspectives on life. Real life things with relationships, family things, all these other things in our lives as we get older. It doesn't matter when you're 20 in your 30s, 30s in your 40s, whatever, 40s in your 50s. But I think it's interesting how it transfers over to our sports stuff, too. You know what I mean? Like, because Larry Bird's my favorite basketball player of all time. And I hated Magic Johnson growing up. Hated him because it was Lakers, Celtics, Magic, Bird, all that.
Right.
But as I got older, I was able to appreciate Magic and appreciate that rivalry between the two. And so now Larry Bird never changed teams, obviously. And I was trying to think of any players that I really loved watching that changed teams that left me bitter or angry. None of them.
What about Pete Rose when he left Cincinnati
for Philadelphia
via free agency?
You know, that one bothered. I was only 7 at the time. And so I didn't, and I remember the 78 was like the first year I remember really being into baseball. And I remember following that 44-game hitting streak. But I always had the sense, at least looking back, I guess I should have seen it, that the way the media was going at the time, I remember like I remember there's an NFL Today episode where Jimmy the Greek was giving odds on where Rose was going to end up. He thought he was going to end up in Pittsburgh. So being that young, though, it didn't really hit me that hard at that time.
Was that Gene Garber?
Gene Garber and Larry McWilliams.
Larry McWilliams in relief.
Right. No, Larry McWilliams started.
Yeah.
Garber in relief. And I believe the game ended with Rose in the on-deck circle also.
And was it Garber that, like, jumped for joy when he struck him out?
Yes.
And that bothered Rose that happened. Anyway, in Cleveland, people obviously were burning LeBron jerseys and all that.
Right.
I didn't have that feeling.
No.
I was disappointed that he left.
Sure.
The first time. The second time, I was glad he left.
Right.
But the first time, I was like, you know what? He gave us 7 great years, and he became a free agent, and he has that right to do it. Now, we had our captain here in Columbus with the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. The Commodore?
No, Foote.
No. Oh, sorry, Foote. Adam Foote, yeah.
Adam Foote.
Yeah.
Who, as the captain, kind of the face of the franchise. I don't know. Rick Nash was the face of the franchise, but your captain, when he bails out, that I would never root for him.
No.
When Carson Palmer, the quarterback of the Bengals, still under contract, basically said, I'm retiring unless they trade me.
Right.
That rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not a Bengals fan.
Right.
But I could understand why Bengals fans would never root for Carson Palmer after that. So I don't know. There are various degrees of guys leaving and what that means. Francisco Lindor, that was disappointing, but I knew it was coming. I know it's coming with Bieber. I know it's coming with all these guys because I know how Cleveland is. They're not going to pay a guy $40 million.
Right.
And as it turned out, they got Andres. The Guardians got the better end of that trade.
They did.
As it turns out.
Yes.
So I've got no hard feelings. I can't say I openly root for Lindor, but I don't hold anything against him.
Yeah, LeBron thing, too. Look, if you're don't be pissed at LeBron, be pissed at the Cavs front office for not putting better talent around LeBron for all those years when he left the first time. When he's out there trying to win with guys that have no business being on a championship contender team. They didn't surround him with Pippen and Horace Grant, and guys like that. They didn't do that in Cleveland. But Shark, thanks so much, buddy. We'll do it again tomorrow. Bobby, I know, is on his way out to the Brady thing, but we'll get him on. He will be on live with us again tomorrow. Make sure you stick around. Bishop and Friends coming up next. This has been Morning Juice on 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching some trickling delays on I-71 northbound to I-70 eastbound in the downtown area because of a disabled vehicle. Also, 315 southbound, a little bit slow moving through the campus area from an issue earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a fan action update.
This NFL action update is brought to you by Tipico, gambling from 1-800-GAMBLER. The Detroit Lions are the favorite in the NFC North at plus 185. Their odds to make the playoffs this season are minus 250 to make and plus 200 to miss. Over-under season win total sits at 10.5 games, and the Lions are 13-1 to win the Super Bowl. Good for a tie for the 4th best odds in the NFL. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Thank
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
I have done in my career literally thousands of joint replacements.
Meet Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon who now advises patients try all they can do to avoid the knife and consider regenerative medicine.
I myself was able to continue skiing for 10 years after my knees started to be a problem because I accessed regenerative medicine.
Now, after 20 years of study, research, teaching, publications, and clinical experience, Dr. Scheinkup is regarded as one of America's true pioneers.
This is the future of medicine.
Dr. Scheinkup came to QC Kinetics after seeing what they were doing around the country, helping tens of thousands of patients get lasting relief from joint pain with no surgery and no drugs.
QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We blinked and 2024 is already halfway over. Pretty incredible. What's something that you've done this year you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause, set intentions, and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/